Hello, hello, my friends. We are out here for.
Hello, my friends.
Wait.
We are out here for.
Why can I hear myself? I'm echoing. Hold on. Why can I hear myself? I'm echoing. Hold on. Why can I hear myself? I'm echoing. Hold on. Why can I hear myself? I'm echoing. Hold on. Can anyone confirm that I'm not echoing on the stream? I can hear myself echoing and I had no clue what's happening. I can hear myself echoing and I had no clue what's happening. I can hear myself echoing and I had no clue. Wait, what? Wait, what? Oh, it's because I have the fucking stream open, dude. I am a retard. All right, we're good. Sorry about that, guys. My intro got all jacked up. We are out here for some Friday Night Scrims. Let's go. Let's see. I've been out of commission for a little bit because my soundboard broke, so I have not had a good microphone for the last couple of weeks, and I just dropped a bunch of money on a brand new mixer. Rodecaster Pro 2 thing is pretty legit, but it made my mic sound better than it did before. I even got the anyways, I'm pretty happy with it, and hopefully I'm sounding pretty decent here. And we are going to, I thought we were going to have one or two guests today, but it's looking like it's just going to be me on the cast, which is all good, baby, because I actually wanted to work on a couple little things for the events happening this weekend. And if you are tuning in from non-SUPERVIVE content, this game is fucking dope. You would love it. You should try it. It's free on Steam. 1.0, it's in early access right now. 1.0 hits in 2 months. So if you want to be ready for 1.0, it's sick. I actually just saw a sponsorship on Riker's recent video for D4 that he posted yesterday. There was a SUPERVIVE sponsorship at the beginning. I was like, oh shit, let's go. Let's go. We're starting it up, baby. Starting to get the marketing ball rolling. Love to see it. All right, we are diving out here. 12 teams battling it out for Friday Night Scrims. I'm going to go through the roster real quick here as we're dropping in. We got 10 hitting the breach, sorry, with Dylan FPS, RTK, and TNN. We got Moonlit Battlegrounds coming out with Height, Schreikel, Jordan, Pine, and Spade Storms. We got IRS with Mirror Visual, Ophianodus, and Jimmy. And then we have LPH with Nabbit Man, Jake Braun, and Sans the Dog. We got UT with Messengers, HKD, and Toy Machine. We got Moonlit Battlegrounds Academy coming out with Chinese Spy, Zach H, and look at me, Yggdrasil. That's a pretty scary Academy team. Not gonna lie. We got PSA with Pamu, Aphios, and Starflash, and they are in some early action with TLD. Avador gets a knock on the Ghost, fighting in the 1v3 actually against PSA. Huge grenade, he has the advantage, gets another kill. Avador's about to 1v3 to start Scrims, and he does it, bro. Absolutely disgusting by Avador. Holy fuck. What did I just witness to kick this off? All right, so we are in for a day here, baby. This is going to be a lit ass day if we just get our first squad wipe like sub 1 minute there. So continuing to go through the teams here, we'll just go to TLD. Name kind of speaks for itself. We got Abador, Lemur, and a guest appearance from our favorite EU player, Adamark, on the Fox. Let's go. And then we got PF with a Posse, OC15, and Waterblaze. We got FF with Tsunami, Zen, and Bluefin Tuna. TLD we just looked at, and the return of Go Hogs, baby! So they are down Wadle today. Lunaris stepping in for him, but we got Stevenator and Jang back in the action. Let's go. Facing up against D&D here. Getting some nice chip out. Jang forcing Hello back across that gap. It looks like with the level 6, Hog is going to force D&D out of here. Yo, Kavian, what's up? I hope you are well, my friend. Yo, Nash, what's up, homie? Nash, you know Lemur? No way. Do you know about SUPERVIVE? Lemur's the GOAT. Cool seeing you out here watching some though. Welcome everyone in the stream. Let's see here. We are just a few minutes in, taking a look at the map. Pretty spread action happening here. We see Jimmy on IRS split off a little bit from his team. IRS actually on a huge split farm. We can see Mirror Visual down here in Machine, Ophiondus over here in Academy with Jimmy kind of up here between two teams in Dawn Caps. Apart from that, everyone pretty much, you know, kind of split farming their own biomes here. Jay on a bit of, or sorry, Lemur. Ooh, Lemur on the Void. I saw Void. I just thought it was Jay. Rocking the sexy skin as well. Let's go. Followed Lemur since about December? Dude, that's so rad. Hell yeah. I didn't even know you knew about SUPERVIVE. Let's go. I love this game, bro. This is like... I want this game to like win so badly. But yeah, I made like a whole second YouTube and shit for this when it came out in November. So I'm really pulling for it. We got a couple of months to 1.0 and then I'm going to be kind of going a little hard on it again, but trying to get the other channel back up and rolling. We got not too much actioning happening early here. Pretty, you know, spread out still. Everyone kind of farming their biomes. We see Brawl Height on Moonlit Battlegrounds getting into a little bit of a encounter with NBA here. Trying to see if they're going to look to chase. Maybe not. Jay still wants them, it looks like. Looks like we probably going to have some conflict soon here. Down in Magma as teams work their way in. Taking a look at the souls. We got XP Soul going to be on the map as well as Shrapnel Soul. And we do have Cross Country Storm. So this is going to be a very quick moving endgame here. Relic. We appreciate you for the follow today, my friend. It's all good, brother. No sweat. Let me actually bring up my I don't have the right like dashboard up here. There we go. Oh, and Kavian followed. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys. Hope everyone's having a beautiful day out here. Or for Relic, middle of the night. Maybe you're chilling after your single cider on Friday night, hopefully having a good one. All right, we got some action down here between PF and UT. UT already really chunked out. They take out UC though. HKD gonna get that heal, almost gets the snipe through for the kill on Apostle. Water Blaze low as well, so it looks like PF gonna be on the retreat here as UT kind of take that fight, get the stomp and heal up. And here we go, circle moving in. We got Violence breaking out across the map, coming back up to the boombox on the Abyssal Hatching here. We got Moonlit Battlegrounds and FF fighting over this baby, and it looks like FF might just sort of concede this to Moonlit Battlegrounds, and they are. They do not, I think they see the level 7s, they see the armor, you know, they see the names of these guys, and Fate Rewinder already being on height. Probably not the fight they're looking for, so they do end up backing out of that. Probably the right call. Ophiondus grabbing a kill as IRS putting pressure on the LPH here. LPH instantly down to one member. Jake Braun on the Huddy. Let's go, baby. Looking to get out of there. I haven't gotten to cast in like a week and a half, but I was hoping to see a little more Huddy action with the recent adjustments. So hopefully he's been out here a little bit more. All right, TLD asserting dominance as usual, posting up here over in Coils, and we take a look at their gear. Mega Avalanche on Adamark. Everything's scaling up really nicely. Tech Glider Gas on the Fox. That's scary. So TLD looking pretty strong here. We see Abyssal scaling, Glider Jet, and Lemur as well. So already some really nice mobility for the TLD squad as they make their way over into Wellsprings here, potentially looking at the flank of 10, who looks like they might be busy getting the res, and they are. Lemur just completely zoning everyone off the res with that ultimate. Doesn't catch anyone, but gets him off the res as planned, while the rest of TLD catches up. Abador maybe feeling himself after that 1v3 down in Cold Fang. But it looks like 10 is going to sort of just split and escape here. TLD probably not going to want to chase for good reason as UT creeping up on the flank. Messengers, HKD, and Toy Machine potentially looking for a fight here. They're going to have to find a good angle. Want to maybe spoil this wings, but potentially a little too late here. Messenger's looking for a cheeky shift through. Has to double shift back, though, and TLD is going to instantly punish off of that shift forward. And so TLD calls the cooldown. They move in and just really punished. Wow, and another snipe coming in from Abador. TLD looking dominant out here today, starting off with double squad wipes very early on in the match. All right, Moonlit Battlegrounds, another team always looking strong. We take a look. They got the boombox earlier, we saw. Still on the 2 golds in the blue. Nothing crazy going on the items, but are scaling them up well. Closing in on the pinks already. IRS is here to party as well. Okay, starting to get crowded here on this map. Still 10 squads left. We got action here between 10 and LPH, and it looks like LPH is going to lose 2 members. Jake Braun goes down this time. This time it's going to be Sans the Dog left on the strike. I actually really love this LPH comp. We got a Celeste Hudson Shrike. Like that's some theory crafted wonder right there. I like it. I hope to see them able to make it work here. D&D pretty comfortable just holding their spot right in the middle of Ion. Pretty good spot to have if we consider this inner circle. Remember, it is going to be cross country, so there is going to be the constant threat of the storm shift as we close in here. TLD looking at the flank of NBA, and FF is on the top, so NBA might get totally pinched here. Could be a really bad look for them. Zach sees it, trying to get out to the left, but FF is chasing. It looks like FF didn't kind of fully commit on the pinch. They're looking to just get this kill on Zach, so that's actually going to allow Chinese Spy to just kind of walk to the north. So instead of it being potentially a really sketchy spot for NBA there, they are going to live. And now FF might have sort of overextended on that chase, but Zen is going to be just fine, grapples himself out of there. And all of a sudden, the last 2 members of NBA find themselves right next to FF. They know they still got TLD on the south, so trying to play this carefully here. Got more action on the right side of the map. Multiple teams clashing. IRS Hog getting in the action. Let's go. Sans the Dog still trying to stay alive here on the strike. IRS wants it. Ophiandus puts the ult out. Moonlit Battlegrounds right on the other end, though. So actually snipes that kill away from IRS. And in the end, they are not able to make it out. Hello. Creeping on the bush a little bit here. Actually looking for a cheeky slam. The rest of his team we see right across the gate. And Ion. What just, was that a turtle? He was trying to do a turtle grab. If we saw the turtle grab, that would have been lit. Almost. Nice look. I like the idea. So here we see the rematch against FF and Moonlit Battlegrounds. This time, no pinch. They use the double teleport. Where do they go? All the way over here. TLD, I think, does get intel on that. I think Adamark saw them, but I think they're trying to just remove themselves from that pinch situation with teams on both sides. I think pretty heads up macro play by them to get themselves out of there. Multiple teams scrapping it over here. Lunaris looking for the kill shot on Dynam, not quite able to get it. As we see Nuke coming out, he's going to be, it's like, Hello is going to be right in the middle of that. Is able to shift out, looks for the grab through, so close to getting the Nuke pull through, or the grab through the Nuke. That would have been dope. Hello maybe looking for the slam here. Lunaris knows it, backs off a little bit. And we got some heated action right here going down. 4 squads kind of duking it out. And we can see with this circle shift getting smaller, the next shift is going to really put pressure on these squads. And all these squads on the bottom right sort of vying to find their position in the inner circle. We see in the process of that, Moonlit Battlegrounds finds another isolated member of NBA, gets the pick on their sister team. And it looks like it's not going to be a big deal as they are going to be right back in it here. All right. I have such a hard time looking at chat and casting and spectating all at the same time, guys. So I apologize if I just see Relic dispelling British stereotypes. So keep up, my friend. We see Mirror Vigil, last member left for IRS, making their way in from the south. Gonna be a really rough spot here. Almost nowhere to go on the tracks. Yeah, probably just gonna try to bide their time, not get spotted out, and find some kind of angle, some crown plate. Dylan sees him though, saw maybe the sound ping, does spot him out, sees its last member. So that is going to force Mirror Visual to just get the hell out of there. Actually a really nice kind of shift path up here from Mirror Visual to get themselves out of that sticky situation. We see TLD continuing the hunt, looking to put pressure onto FF after D&D kind of poured it out of the middle of them. And Abador, another snipe. Oh, not quite gonna get it through there. And FF living with just, oh no, they still have another member left. So we see Tsunani was able to get out to the top here. Shout out Tsunami doing an awesome job just putting in the work, shoutcasting scrims. I've been able to catch little sections of a couple of his shoutcasts the last couple of weeks, and big respect for, you know, giving coverage to these players as often as he can. And definitely getting a lot better, a lot of improvement as well. So that's pretty much what happens when you practice. Love to see it. TLD now going to be the ones getting pinched a little bit here. They do have the XP on their soul on their side, but when the Battlegrounds right to the north with Shrapnel Soul and Hog kind of the ones a little bit in the middle of it all. A little bit down levels, especially compared to Moonlit. A little bit down armor. And no soul. So I don't know, you know, Hog's going to have to be really careful about how they play this. I think they have intel. The TLD is lurking on the flank, so they don't want to overcommit. Nice damage there through from, I think that was Stevenator with the bomb on the Saros. I do love seeing the Saros pick up. We see Saros Myth Carbine on the side of Hogs. Actually, another really cool comp, just full ranged pump and action breaking out above as Moonlit Battlegrounds find FF. They get a knock on Tsunami, and Hog looking to punish those. Spadestorm is split out. They might be able to get the kill. They're going to get the armor shredder. Now Moonlit Battlegrounds down a member with 2 members of FF still alive on the north. Actually, such a heads up play by Hogs there to realize they have the split. And look, there's just carnage across the map, and it's going to continue with these storm shifts. We look over to here to the right. TLD actually under so much pressure. Looks like who went down there? Abador goes down in the abyss. Just going to be Lemur and Adamark left. They are going to be able to take out Jay, put it into a 2v2 here. Adamark with the Geyser Mega Avalanche gets the ground on a Chinese spy. Let's go. Big play by Adamark there, utilizing the legendary powers, getting the ground, and another knock, another kill through TLD, really stacking them up this game. And the violence continues on this side of the map as Moonlit Battlegrounds, even though down a member, continuing to kind of keep up the pressure. We see both their gold armors completely chipped out. So they are going to want to be doing something about that and be doing something to try to get Spadestorms back, because it is, like we can see, getting heated out here in this final circle. Hogs made their way to the south. They're going to find this fight against 10, but is it the one they're looking for? Because 10 looking quite strong here. Lunaris really chunked out in the back, but RTK same. They are fighting in the 2v3. Jang is down on the myth. So Stevenator and Lunaris are really going to have to pump here, and it looks like they are. Steven just taking huge chunks out of Dylan. It's actually still a very close fight. Lunaris maybe gets caught by the grapple. Oh, the ult barely misses for RTK, so Lunaris lives, but not for long as TNN pushes, takes him out. Going to be just Stevenator left here. Huge portal across the wall. Will it be enough to save? Is he going to just ego this beacon as Heights egoing this beacon? So I think Stevenator, if he would have maybe known that, he might have just stuck it right off the bat. But in the end, Moonlit Battlegrounds gets the res. They find their way, and they might force Stevenator right into the arms of Lemur, who's on the bush play for TLD here. Gets the ulti. Dude, this is, I miss Supervise so much. This is so epic. So now TLD was looking good, pinched between double squads. Moonlit Battlegrounds poking to the south, D&D to the north, TLD so low. Adamark trying to make it out over the wall, but it's not going to be enough. Just trying to float by his time, do anything up there. Abador is down, and just like that, TLD is out, and shortly following them, probably going to be D&D right after, as 10 finds the fourth party, forces them into the arm of Moonlit Battlegrounds, and just absolute carnage as we are instantly down to 3 squads here. FF might have a tiny bit of space to get this res through, bring back Bluefin Tuna, and put this to a clean 3v3v3, and it looks like they are going to get it. So here probably is where we're going to see cross-country storm shifts really come into play as these teams start to position. We see 2 fires coming out for 10. Really wanting to lock in that high ground. Probably going to pick that second one back up. Moonlit Battlegrounds, though, after the end of all that carnage, they are going to walk away with the double soul. So we see Shrapnel XP soul, like almost full pinks here. Fate Rewinder, Armor Shredder, going to be a very scary Moonlit Battleground squad to come up against. Taking a look at 10 here, they do have the high ground. RTK has the Masamune. We actually have 2 Masamunes. So if 10 can stay alive here, they can absolutely pump, and not doing too bad on armor themselves. FF in a pretty similar spot. They do have a boombox on their side. We see a tech Vibe Infuser, really big for not having a support for Bluefin Tuna here. I love when I'm playing DPS, especially without a healer, getting the Vibe Infuser evolved just feels so good a lot of the time, especially on a hunter like a carbine, you can ground dash forward, that's healing you. Your autos connecting or resetting your ground dash so you can dash more, and then you have your air dash out, that's healing you. So like I think really, you know, nice evolve to come through there, especially for I'm loving the trios meta. Like I really love how supports are not necessarily necessary anymore. And you can find success. You know, they're still obviously good. We see Pine on the Zeph here, you know, kind of supporting the brawl entry for height and the ranged pump from Spade Storms, more of sort of a normal or like like standard comp where you see a ranged carry, a support, and yeah, an engage. But some of these other squads, like FF is a great example. You just have a myth, a carbine, and a brawl. So you got a little bit of that, you know, kind of upfront pressure and engage from the brawl, but it's really just a pump squad. And we saw another squad with just full a couple squads actually with just full 3 like range DPS. So I'm like really, you know, kind of excited at how the trios has shaken up, especially the hunter meta, because we saw a pretty stale hunter meta starting to form up at the end of squads there, where there were just, you know, some hunters, the Oath, the Zeph, that just brought so much value to a squad's comp that, you know, is almost like every, you know, the Kingpin, almost every single team running these hunters. So I really do like this, you know, kind of shift into trios where we see a lot more creativity, a lot more, you know, sort of like comfort picks as well, which I think is really cool. Because on the comfort picks, we end up seeing some of the best outplays, right? Because if it's a hunter, these players are grinding all day in ranked, you know, practicing a ton. It's their favorite. They just flow on it. That's when we see the, you know, 5,000 IQ like crazy highlights come through. So I don't know. That's my trios is cool tangent for the day, I guess. I've really been enjoying more than I expected watching trios. So all right, coming back to the game here, we got this nice long pause as I go on my monologue, but these teams, basically we see the fires down. It's a constant vie for position, and they're constantly playing around this shift. So everyone knows the next shift is up here. Basically, like right now, FF is trying to keep 10 from making their way. So now Moonlit Battlegrounds and FF are going to try to hold 10, and FF and Moonlit Battlegrounds are going to try to race, you know, basically to the new circle here to try to find that best inner position. And we likely will see, it's very likely these teams already have a fire, but I was going to say if they don't, we will see fires getting picked up. We see the teleport bringing them back, but action breaking out here. Actually, before that next shift, all 3 teams engaging as Moonlit Battlegrounds actually puts kind of a nice pinch move onto FF. It's just going to be Zen left on the brawl. They take him out. So now we got a clean 3v3 between 10 and Moonlit Battlegrounds. Last 2 squads left, but right off the bat, it looks like RTK going to get caught there, chipped out, but somehow lives miraculously. It looks like Pine does not want to let it happen. Shifts forward, throws out the Mega Avalanche, continuing massive pressure onto the flank of 10 here. 10 trying to make it out. You see TNN in a snowman over here while the rest of his team gets murdered. So actually a really high value Mega Avalanche coming through there for Pine to continue the onslaught. Now with just 10 left, it's looking like it's going to very much be a Moonlit Battlegrounds victory, and it is. So Moonlit Battlegrounds take game 1, Friday Night Scrims. Yo, OC, thanks for the follow, homie. Appreciate it, brother. Hope you are well. That was a spicy game 1. Let's go. I'm so glad I was randomly spectating TLD at the beginning when I was going through the teams when Avador just went off. That was epic. It was a good start to my day. Yo, Immense, what's good, brother? Yeah, I think I'm gonna try, bro, just to kind of stay in the loop of things. I'm gonna try to cover like Friday Night Scrims, just like in general, as much as I can. Just kind of make that like my day that I get out here, so I can, you know, just like stay in the loop and keep up with stuff. But we got big weekend this weekend and a big weekend next one. We got Moonlit Battlegrounds tournament tomorrow. We got Relics Sunday Night Vive on Sunday, and then next weekend we got back-to-back days of Relics Abyssal Cup NA round 2. So I kind of wanted to get, you know, back in the. Also got the new mic set up, so that was I didn't really want to cast with my mic Jimmy rigged and sounding bad, so that's kind of why I haven't done much the last 2 weeks. But I think it sounds way better now, hopefully.
I bring enlightenment.
You are the drop leader.
Bro, if you wanna give it a go, you are more than welcome to join. I am kind of working on some stuff for this weekend, but I definitely, if you were wanting to, you are welcome to give it a try. It is definitely a good time. Yeah, if you want to, I can just let me know. I can join the SUPERVIVE Discord and start streaming probably. Actually, bro, I don't know if I'm going to be able to stream to Discord at the same time because I'm recording and I'm streaming. And last time I tried to do both those things and stream to Discord, it overloaded the encoder and like everything was lagging. But we could try it if you really want to do. All right, baby, diving into game 2 here. Pretty spicy game 1, honestly. We see Moonlit Battlegrounds take the victory, and a couple teams putting up a nice fight in the end there. Coming into game 2, little shift to the souls. We still got XP Soul on the map, but we are coming in with Vive Soul here and Final Destination. So opposite of Cross Country. We take a look at the map. You can see our Final Destination right here. What a Final Destination spot. Why wouldn't it take me over there? I'm not sure. But we all know where that's at. Oh, it's because I was there. No. My right click's not working. There we go. Yeah, it's like right here. Gonna be a nice final circle. Lots of abyss. Everyone gonna be essentially migrating their way over through the course of this game here. Probably want a text box in the corner saying what game this is and who won the previous game. Not a bad idea, Bvonked. I'm not totally sure how to just add a text box, so we'll look at that after this game. We see Hogs getting a nice early knock there on a Fios. A couple teams down here in Underroot. PSA getting Star Flash out, going to be just fine here. Plenty of space to find a res. Not too much early action, but we do see continued fighting as Hogs looking for another as they take out a member of Moonlit Battlegrounds Academy. Chinese Spy is down. Jay just kiting to the south, but looking like it's not going to be able, or he's not going to be able to live here, but he does shift out, kind of has some ground trying to put on the jukes. NBA did get a member out to the north, so Zach is alive still. I just got pulled way up here. We see UT in Academy farming it up pretty free. Potential action with TLD. Over here in Ion, we see 10 kind of on the flank. TNN already on that gold armor. Lemur has the other one though, but TNN level 6, RTK level 6 is a 2v3. We're not sure where the other member of 10 is. They are way over here. It's Dylan farming it up. So actually 10 getting nice value, just kind of wasting TLD's time as they have another member farming here. Other than that, it's pretty much spread, split farm, a little bit of continued action. Down here, we say Hogs, they were continuing to chase, but I see, it looks like they ran into Moonlit Battleground, so they're just going to kind of stop, turn around, continue their farm. And Jay's still in the action over here. We saw him like trying to get away earlier, but he's just like right in the middle of two teams still on the void. It looks like he is finally going to get punished for it here as Steven Air to get that kill, gets level 7, gets the ult online for the Sorrow. So pretty high value utility there with the portal to be able to play around. Also activates that ionized. So if used properly, can be a very strong combat buff as well. Replenishes the mana, lets you R&B constantly if you're missing. So hopefully they're going to be able to use that to their advantage where other teams get 6. TLD still a little bit behind the curve as far as XP, trying to just find something across the map. But it looks like they were looking at the Ion Vault. That was contested. They're now looking at the Heart Vault. This is contested by PF. And it looks like TLD, after PF breaks the door, TLD going to force their way in. Well, I guess PF already has the blues, so they don't even need the armor. Abador really being the only one in the mix here. It's going to want to snag one of those blues. We see the migration happening to Final Destination. Multiple teams making their way in from the Academy farm, from the Dawn Caps Frag Isle farm. with action breaking out right in the circle as they get in. Nice shift forward slam grab by Abador, but getting punished. Jake Braun just pumping on that gunner. They're going to get blasted out of there with no help while Sans the dog locks in the kill on the strike. So trying to just push him off the wisp, but not quite going to be able to. As TLD recover here. Now they have Sans isolated. Abador looks for the slam, but Sam shift back, gets the mark proc, deletes Abador in the 1v3 for a sec there. Sans looking real good on this strike in this fight. And now TLD still kind of on the back foot. We've seen him a little bit on the back foot since the start there. And Ion, oh, Adamark's going to run right into the arms of UT here. It does look like, oh, PF potentially in trouble. OC kiting to the south. Apostle to the north. FF has the high ground. They have one member down. There's really not a ton else happening on the map. See UT on the train rolling their way down here. See Moonlit Battlegrounds continuing to play over objectives. Love themselves that boombox. Going to get another one. Looks like basically for free here. Completely uncontested. PF still on the run. FF still chasing. Apostle, ooh, gonna get caught by the carbine wall into the bishop punch. So Tsunani locking in that kill off of the Q from Bluefin Tuna. Kill point on the board for them. Coming down to PSA, finding themselves in a battle against Hog. Stevenator is down right off the bat. Theos has a bit of a flank here on the myth. Hog in a bit of trouble if they don't kind of have a way to get out of here. Jang shifts back. Theos looking to potentially chase. Grenade does connect. And I think Hog is going to have enough space to get out of here. PSA not going to want to continue the chase. A couple teams already over at our final destination ending, which is literally right here, looking to position around that early, kind of get, you know, early fire vision and kind of hold dominance in this space, knowing that the play is going to be coming here. Potentially like a good look for setting up a bit of a Fortnite base, stuff like that. But I wonder if that's IRS's plan, if they're going to be looking. No, they are already kind of moving away. They do throw the fire down to keep that sort of high ground vision, but they are not going to like fully commit to hunkering down. Pretty hard to do at this point in the game. You're going to need a lot more farm and XP before we get to that point. So very understandable. Hogs continuing the pressure here. They find a member of UT. Messengers is down. Continuing the hunt as nice shift out by Toy Machine. Lunaris, though, jetpack across. HKD really low on the carbine. Toy Machine looking for a shift up and over, but not quite. Oh, he is going to get the little bit of angle, but Stevenator, oh, almost catches him with the portal. Toy Machine goes back thinking he's safe, but runs right into the arms of Moonlit Battleground. So unfortunate pathing there. Thought he got away. It was a nice juke, honestly, on the void over the top and going back, but not going to be enough in the end. More violence up here to the north as IRS on a bit of a run from FF. Looks like FF kind of has the pressure here. IRS a bit split, but FF's got to be a bit careful with PF to the north, and they're fighting over this XP soul. And so we're probably going to see more teams making their way over there. As 10 and LPH duke it out. Looks like LPH in a rough spot. Sans the dog, last player left again, trying to make a miracle happen on the strike, but it's going to be such a tough ask. Caught in the middle of all three members of 10. 10 is going to get that knock, get the kill, and the full squad wipe. So down to 11 here in game 2. Bluefin Tuna gets the kill onto OC. Looking to continue the pressure, even though half health is going to shift forward, air shift forward into Waterblaze. Knows he has the rest of his team coming to back him up. Rips the ult, looking for the snipe. Not quite going to get it through. It looks like Tsunani probably going to get Apostle here. He does. Nice R&B connects. Bluefin Tuna not wanting to Waterblaze to get away. Waterblaze with a big R&B puts Tuna into the wall, but the teammate is there. And so really nice follow-up from Zen there to zoom in, stop the myth from pumping into that R&B stun, and get that squad wipe. Another battle breaking out to here. Hogs find the third party as NBA forcing IRS into it, but it looks like NBA the ones in the rough spot now. Jay up on the shift play. We see so many void shift plays happening like back to back, just trying to live here. So it looks like after that, NBA kind of the ones scattered. And why can't I find this color? Hogs. Hogs just down a member. So Stevenator did go down the back of all that. They want to try to play out a little bit, get that res through before they look for anything else. And it looks like IRS still continuing to chase NBA. NBA going to be in a really tight spot if they don't kind of find their way out to the bottom right here. We see so many teams positioning up, and you know, a lot of teams like making their way in still. D&D and PSA down here trying to just find their way into this inner circle, but violence breaking out around the final destination. I really like 10. 10 is always aggressing here. I really have been enjoying like watching them constantly putting out the pressure, and looks like FF just gonna kind of this is so risky, bro, to all stand together on the freaking forge as vulnerable when you know another team is right there. Like, that is sketch. That is some balls. But they it looks like they abandoned that plan, get out of there. Moonlit Battlegrounds still continuing to farm. You know, it's like we're making our way around the map. You never pan to Moonlit Battlegrounds when they're not doing something. They are constantly tempo farming. Like, if they're not playing for objectives, they're getting kills, and usually they're playing for objectives and getting kills along the way, because anyone that comes to contest them, they fight, and you know, a lot of times that's looking good because they already have tempo from that objective farm for the whole game. Insane R&B to stop the entry on Zen there. Really nice from Spadestorms, pushing Zen out, kind of stops the whole engage, not going to let the rest of FF be able to follow up. We see Dylan just way out here in the abyss looking to use that emergency platform. IRS has one of their own though, and they also have Jimmy on the Bebo, so gonna have infinite ice to make their way out there. We see TLD getting some knocks. UT in a rough spot. They are going to get squad elimed here as TLD find another one, down to 9, which we're pretty deep in it here. So this is going to be a crowded circle still. We see like half of it being Abyss, and half of the teams playing around emergency platform and or ice here. Dylan was able to snag himself the crown before he bailed out, but it is just going to be, look at this, this is so awesome. It's just everyone building their Abyss Island out here, getting ready for this final destination. I love it. And it's like, yeah, it's pretty spread right now. Everyone kind of like has their spot. It does look like PSA wants to mess with Dylan with the crown here. Gonna force him off his island. I think, yeah, Dylan does have, I think he platformed there so he wouldn't get spiked. So I don't think he wanted the platform there, but he had to, because he, you know, was at the bottom of the abyss and couldn't glide because he was getting damaged. So does, you know, manage to get himself out of there, find his way back to the ground here. And he has quite a bit of space. We see not too many teams like making their way up here. And it looks like FF comfortable to just kind of hang edge of circle here, and same thing with Moonlit Battlegrounds, hanging way edge of circle, have this two-way up. They're going to go behind FF, and so if FF doesn't have this intel, it looks like Zen knows what's up, so they must have heard or saw pings. Dylan's still trying to make the miracle happen with the crown, makes his way back out into the abyss, gets an island up. This fight is breaking out here though, as FF does see Moonlit. Some nice damage come through on Spadestorms. FF or Zen looking for the entry. He's going to get kind of forced off there. We see TLD playing for Bubba's Brain here. Hog, Jang getting some kills through. This is such a weird, such a weird like final map. Wait, is Dylan still alive? He is. This is his team. They're doing it. So 10 all the way back in at full power, about to get the kill onto Atheos for the squad wipe, but FF ruins the day. They find the third party, take out 2 members of 10, and it is just going to be TNN left all of a sudden for the side of 10 instead of Dylan here. So we got to have another miracle crown play come through. Is on the bishop, but is going to be, I think, out of glider fuel there. No shift. Just going to sort of fall to the end. So down to 7 squads. And it's been a very kind of slow, patient game. This is usually what we sort of see from Final Destination. Like, it's a little less, like you see more teams kind of playing for position and holding space early, just knowing, you know, kind of where that final is going to be, not having to worry about the shifts. You know, basically the opposite of cross country we saw last game, where it's much harder to post up and hold space, and there's this constant shift of position. IRS looking to take NBA's position as Ophianda shifts in. And Jay's going to be forced out, does use the ult, but doesn't catch anyone in it. Chinese Spy looking to pump some damage. Mirror Visual getting a little bit low, but TLD finding the third party here. Abador missed the grab, but there's going to be, I think, just too much pressure on IRS. They are going to get forced into D&D and NBA now. Just a single member left with Jay trying to live in the South here. Really nice fourth party there from D&D, kind of holding their space and, you know, seeing the angle to kind of come in from the left here where no one's expecting after they've been playing on this island for a while. And that's kind of the advantage to playing Edge of Circle. A lot of times you can catch teams off guard, especially teams, you know, that are already engaged with each other. So I do like the look from D&D here. Get a couple knocks through, rank up, you know, nice and safe on their little island. Hog doing a similar thing, but not safe as FF just flies in. Zen with the slam. Looking to potentially get reversed as the scale is out. It's going to be a big stun. Only gets Stevenator actually. So they trade. Jang takes out Tuna. Zen going to get forced out. Big punch coming through for Tsunami. Gonna be in the 1v2 trying to play around Tuna, get the res, but is gonna get pushed off here. Goes to the island there, but oh, and Zen gets found out from Moonlit on their own platform, and it's just gonna be Tsunami left on the Bishop. TLD sees it. They see last member. They see Crown. They want this. D&D continuing the violence, continuing to find opportunities. They see Hog at numbers disadvantage. They find a pick, and now, you know, kind of taking their fire, taking their space. D&D playing a nice patient game, and off the back of that, TLD does take out Tsunami. So just like that, down to 4 here in game 2. Lunaris being the last member left for Hogs on the boat bush play. It doesn't have a ton of options here. Oh boy. Oh my god, that was a close cook. Holy. Gonna go right into all of these D&D wards. Now D&D, you know, again, the Edge of Circle play coming through big for them. Potentially going to get another squad wipe here if Lunaris is forced into them. Lunaris finding a nice path north here. Somehow gets out of that. Going to keep Hogs in it. And I don't know if Moonlit Battleground saw them go up there. So actually is going to find the crown. Well played by Lunaris, keeping Hogs in it.
All right, let's take a look at setups here. Moonlit Battlegrounds.
Oh, just kidding. They find an engage potentially onto the TLD, but it's not looking too good. Ooh, Shrikle Jordan almost able to live with the ult, but is going to get taken out there. TLD now has the pressure. Spade Storms is down, and it's just going to be Height left almost instantly there. Really nice fight from TLD, and it's going to put MB in a really rough spot. Height does have that frog jump trying to play off the guys there, has a platform. Gonna be, this is his, Height sees this, he wants this, he knows this is his shot, he needs this kill on the crown. Scale goes out, trying to play around it, is gonna get caught. He just like, he gets insane by Height, gets the LMB range brawl snipe, brings Moonlit Battlegrounds back in it, but D&D, they have a perfect opportunity to engage on the side. Actually, MB under so much pressure after that beautiful recovery there. TLD and D&D not letting them breathe. Height again, last member left, jump pad down, does still have the frog jump, trying to make his way over the top, but it's gonna be such a tough ask as there's no longer gonna be a lone crown to try to pick off, and in the end, Height does go down, but he gets squad-wide kill point through, as well as ranking up the team. So nice last-ditch effort there as we see the final fight breaking out here between D&D and TLD. Boombox down. Both teams trying to play off it, playing around this rock a little bit, line of sighting. Lemur's looking low. Lemur kind of split out here under pressure, does get taken out before the Abyssal Breaker comes out. So D&D, big tempo, they spike. Adam it's just going to be Abador left. Tries to get a grab to go for a shift dunk, but it's not going to come through. And so D&D, really, really nice macro final circle play. They've played Final Destination beautifully. We saw holding this bottom position, using their platform, slowly making their way in, finding every perfect third-party opportunity that came their way as they play Edge of Circle. In the end, it works out perfectly for them. They come away with the W in game 2. Let's go. All right, how the hell do I add a text box? I don't think I've ever tried to do that in OBS. Add source. Text. Score. MB won the first game, right? MB won, D&D won. Game 2. D&D. Victors. Let's see here. So I just go like that. Okay, okay. Like this, like this. Like something like that. We can try it, bro. I don't want it to. Basically, if it fucks up the encoder, which happened last time, it's gonna fuck up the VOD and the stream, where I'm gonna have to stop the stream and I'm gonna have to, like, the YouTube VOD wouldn't have those first 2 games if the encoder gets overloaded because it can't save. But I'll see if I can before we do the next one, we'll like test it, because it would be cool. If I'm gonna be doing these on Friday, I mean, it's like next Friday, you should jump in with me. Like we could plan on it, and I could make sure that's working. Because that'd be cool. I would love to. I would love to be part of your your debut, your casting debut. Can you guys see that text okay? Is that, I probably will make it smaller during the game. Dude, we can do that. You just will be, you just won't have, you'll be like stream delayed. So you'll be seeing like 10 seconds behind me. We can chill in disc if you want. It is hella fun, bro. It is hella fun. It's like pretty exhausting, but it's very fun. Try to color cast with delay. That sounds hard. I'm not gonna lie. That sounds like a tough one. All right, we can try. Let's hop in. Here, I'm in squad 2 in blues.
Yo, what's up?
Yo, what's good, brother? How you doing, man? I have no idea what the oh shit, my Discord mic's not working. Hold on, bro. Hello? Wait. I fucked it up. Hello? Hello?
Yo, yo.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Welcome in, brother. Let me see. I'm gonna have to turn you up a little bit. I'm not sure what the sound levels are for disc. How you doing, my man?
Doing good. How's it been?
Good, brother. It's just a crazy couple of weeks, and my mic was busted, which was really bothering me, but we got the setup all back up and running, so I dropped a bunch of money on this new mixer, and it's pretty fucking legit, so I should be hopefully sounding
Nice.
just as good, if not better, than before. How you been, man?
Doing good, doing good.
Been grinding?
Yeah, there is a bit of buzzing in the background, but you'll be able to fix that. at some
Is it
point.
buzzing on stream? Did it happen?
I
did
don't hear it as much on stream, but I
did-
hear it in Discord a little bit.
Did it happen when I joined Discord, Relic, or has it been happening the whole time? I wonder if it just started. Whole time you've been listening? Oh, weird. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll have to figure that out, because when I look at my mic input, like it drops all the way down. Like it doesn't look like there's any extra coming through, and it did like an auto gain configuration, so I didn't like mess with the gain anymore than the way it's set up. Word, I'm gonna have to find like a low frequency filter or something like that. Or I'm sure I could do something on the board, but I appreciate the intel. I probably am not gonna be able to fix it this stream, but I will look into it and try to get it fixed before tomorrow here. All right, diving into game 3. Can you guys see? Let me make sure this text isn't like overlapping here. Probably this corner would be
Okay,
better.
I think I have the answer. If there's ever a lull, you could ask me questions so that you can take a break and then I can answer.
Okay, word. Let's do it. We'll just like ease into Well, I have a question for you, bro. Just like as you've been out there in ranked grinding, what has there sort of been a meta forming as far as team comp? And like, what are some of like the strongest picks you think are out here right now?
Well, I think pugs and ranked are different than actually playing in scrims.
For sure.
Notably, there's a surprisingly smaller amount of carbines.
Interesting.
Carbine has been grinded basically by everybody through pugs or ranked or whatnot. Maybe people are just sick of him, but he is still just constantly played.
Just a menace. Is he extremely strong still, or even stronger because people have figured him out?
I'm a little bit biased because I don't like him that much, so it's hard to say.
That's fair.
But I think he's definitely strong. I would say he's OP, but I don't know if he is quote unquote OP.
To me, it seems like
Void. Void has been
Ooh,
played a little bit.
that's
Lemur
cool.
played Void like 5 games in a row in pugs last night.
hell yeah,
or
he was
something,
actually
or
on
2 days
Void
ago.
last game, I think, in scrims, or maybe the game before that. That's awesome. I love seeing the Void in the action. We're catching a fight up here as UT looks like they're going to be moved in on by Moonlit Battlegrounds here. Moonlit Battlegrounds always off to such strong starts. And this is a good thing to talk about, Immense. Like, what do you think separates the tempo that Moonlit Battlegrounds can establish every single game from like a lot of the other squads where like almost any time we look at Moonlit Battlegrounds, double gold, Abyssal Eye, usually like 1 or 2 exotics by this point, right? Like they basically just get everything they need, it seems like, almost every game. You know, how do you
so I don't think there's enough people to challenge Moonlit Battlegrounds.
like just
have,
purely
like-
from like a mechanical
like-
skill standpoint?
From an overall perspective, like I'll take a look at D&D. They just won last game. They were a new team at first, and now they've been building up and like really kind of established. They're getting better at macro and all these things. Maybe if you had D&D landing in the same area as MB, they could probably contest them on some things. They could probably prevent them from having such high tempo. But there's just not enough teams in the lobby every time that they can deny teams like MB or TLD from getting these leads, because if MB or TLD interact, either one of them's out early possibly,
Right.
or they shift to a different part of the map and they get their lead elsewhere.
It just seems like, you know, they if no one is able to contest them, like it makes it's like such an uphill battle against them later, and we just often see that play out. So, and it was kind of the same thing we often saw from and TLD definitely back in it here in trios, but what we saw when TLD was the insane double grapple from Lemur, puts them together, gets the stun, finds the portal through the wall, looking for the killing blow onto Jang here. Lunaris maybe making out to the south. Oh, Jang is going to get taken out. I think Lunaris did live. They did. So Hogs stay in it. Sick double grapple by Lemur there. But
That
yeah,
was
those
that
guys,
was awesome.
The
Gotta love the use of powers like
grapple's got to be one of the best to see a good, because it's hard to use. Like I freaking suck at grapple. I want to be good at it, but I'm not good at it.
bungeeing people into each other is probably one of the most satisfying powers.
Bungee, sorry, not grapple. Yeah. Ooh, Jimmy looking for the tonk there. It's not going to matter though, because Lunaris is going to make their way out. And it's such a tight spot here. Oh, but somehow Stevenator is still alive. I completely missed that. So Hog's not out of it yet. Violence breaking out across the map. We see Amador down, as it looks like TLD maybe got engaged on by LPH here. Trying to find where else something is happening. We see Moonlit Battlegrounds getting a knock onto PSA as PSA make their way out to Chaos. Little bit of, I think FF might try to hold this choke, knowing that 10 is in here. They are looking for it. They see the wings go down, and I'm not sure if 10 has the intel on FF. They will soon, though. I'm expecting, like, I bet FF just holds this choke, unless they don't want it.
The delay is actually not that bad. It's only like 2 seconds.
Oh, nice. Oh, is like I just saw Jay pop up way up here, and I was like, how do you do that? It's two-way. So we got two-way, or sorry, unstable portals as our storm shift here. Moonlit Battlegrounds looking like they have an angle onto LPH. They get Stands the Dog down. Celeste going to be in trouble here, forced to rip the ultimate, but Nabbit Man going to get taken out as well. So Moonlit Battlegrounds fine too as Jake Braun makes their way to the north. And it looks like we're going to have some action heating up down here south side of the map. 4 or 5 teams kind of vying for positioning as they make their way in. We see both souls very close by top left. So armor and damage soul coming in. There's certainly going to be some fights breaking out around these, likely both of these. I expect to see a little bit of a migration of all these northern teams making their way over to these objectives. What's your as far as like competitive immense, like what's your favorite storm shift to like see play out? Because I really like unstable. Like unstable is cool.
Yeah. Man, that's a hard question.
It is.
I mean, who doesn't like a good bullet train?
Yeah, funny. Bullet Train's classic. The magical special.
Final Destination sometimes is fun because you can set up for it.
Do you like Final Destination or Cross Country more? Because they're basically opposites.
Does anybody like cross country?
Spectators do. I like watching it because it puts you guys in the worst possible spots.
So you like. I don't like cross country unless you have a huge lead. I don't like cross country.
It is like honestly one of the most fun ones to spectate because it is just like it's you know it makes the playing around space like so touch and go. Like everyone maybe has their space they're holding, but it's just like constantly on the move. And I love like seeing teams, you know, basically try to position early to like hold teams from like making their way in with the shift. And I don't know, like I think like probably another one that's just like that, bro, that you guys hate that we like to watch is bombing runs.
Oh yeah, what player likes bombing runs?
Yeah,
to be honest.
It is fun to watch though, as we see FF putting huge pressure onto NBA here. Chinese Spy is down. Zach looking one shot. Jay with the grapple finds his way out of there for a second, trying to get a shift up onto the roof, but it doesn't come through actually. So I expect Jay with some really nice sidestepping lives for a little bit longer than he should, but is going to get taken down. Zach maybe looking for a cheeky Whisperez, but FF reads it. Bluefin Tuna on the hunt, looking for the finish. Zach gets the R&B bump up and away. So I think they're going to be just fine as we see LPH in a battle with Moonlit Battlegrounds up here. And right when we come up here, Jake Braun is down. So Moonlit Battlegrounds having advantage. They have Sans the Dog isolated up here as well. They get the second knock through. Hyatt looking to chase, and it looks like the kill was going to get jacked by 10 here.
So I have a question for you then.
Let's hear it.
So we already know TLD and MB are some of like the oldest teams, right?
Yeah.
What are some of the new teams that you're excited to see?
I mean, honestly,
like, not
this
necessarily new, but within the past month, I guess.
Well, just for starters, this is also like technically an old team, but they've been retired for a little bit, and they are missing Wadle, but Stevenator, Jang, Wadle for Go Hogs. Like Go Hogs was one of my favorite teams to watch in squads. So even though they're not new, I'm like super excited to see the resurgence of them. Honestly, bro, the last 2 weeks, the teams have shifted so much that I recognize most of these players, but some of the team names I don't even recognize. So I couldn't give you an exact name, but like these guys like Pamu, Afio, Starflash, like I've been casting these guys in scrims now since I think like December, and like those kind of players that they haven't been around for years, you know, but they've been around for, you know, multiple months at this point, grinding ranked, grinding scrims. Like guys like that I think are really starting to scale and like gonna be putting themselves in a good position, you know, with the 1.0 launch. Ooh, nice. Another Caldera snipe there from height to get the spike through. Violence starting to break out across the map here as we see Circle closing in. 8 squads left. TLD looking to maybe find a flank onto MB. I'm not sure what is happening over here. Lemur was emoting in the store. I'm not sure what was going on, but he is going to come back to his team, and I think TLD wants this. They're kind of taking MB's space, and oh yeah, MB's down Spadestorm, so that's why they are able to do that. And so MB probably wants to find their way out of here. Look for a res. You see fight breaking out up here. Ooh, big chip damage coming into RTK. Pamus almost gets taken out, but is going to be able to live barely there as PSA take another nice fight. Get a couple knocks through. Ooh, FF. Oh, go ahead, go ahead. Stevenator is one of my favorite players.
Tugs, his macro is incredible. I mean, he's on point. He's thinking about everything he needs to do next. He's calling it out, making it known. Just honestly, really good player.
Yeah, and he's one of these players that has been around a little while, but has been on a bit of a hiatus. And I'm really excited to see Steve back in the action. I actually heard Jang was telling me he wait, sorry, I'm so bad at looking at chat. X first eliminated, making huge gains, says Relic. That's like, it's just been so cool overall to see the evolution of like all these teams. And we'll have to keep an eye on, wait, who is X first eliminated?
I think first eliminated is a team in here that just changed.
Is that FEL?
PSA.
Oh, PSA. Okay, okay. Oh, yeah, that was FEL. Okay, okay. Yeah, Palmu Starflash FEL is definitely a team to be looking out for out here. I do like, this is a team that I haven't got to spectate much, I don't think. Dylan, TNN, and RTK on 10. So I think that's another pretty scary looking squad here as well. They are...
I'm pretty hyped for them. I mean, RTK is promising. He's fairly young, so he has a lot of, you know, potential. And then obviously TNN and Dylan are really good and consistent players, so could be something exciting if they keep that squad together.
Definitely. I think of Dylan as one of these, like you say, like very consistent players. Like doesn't necessarily have crazy highlight plays, but is always basically delivering exactly what his team needs. TNN I have seen do some crazy stuff, especially on that Bishop. So definitely, yeah, 100% players we're gonna be looking out here. Speaking of Stevenator, on the Saros here, looking for the Moonlit Battlegrounds flank, but Moonlit Battlegrounds, bro, just always so strong. Frog jump, double pinks on height and pine, gold armors, like while I'm looking at all their juice, we miss a squad wipe somewhere on the map as FF goes down. Just 7 squads left here. Coming into final circle, Starflash gonna just there's so many people in bushes right here, bro. Dude, that was wild. So in the end, Mirror Vigil gets taken out. PSA has a nice angle onto 3D here. 3D finds his way out, but Hog's gonna be the ones to get the kill. So they do. So just like that, 2 more squads down. Hog's continuing to look strong here. And these are basically the 2 squads we were just talking about, Immense, potentially facing off. TLD getting another squad wipe to the north. Just constant fighting across the map here. Wait. TLD gets taken out. I thought I misread the kill feed there. TLD is gone at 6th. So just
that's got to be unfortunate for them. It's a really crowded area here. I mean, extremely difficult to play. And you see IRS is still staying alive, sitting in a bush.
Hey, if there's someone that can do it, it's the war criminal.
I mean, maybe he picks up a crown and spikes somebody mid-play. Like,
he's got a couple options, but he definitely knows he is basically surrounded. As we see, ooh, really nice pull coming through from Starflash. Oh, actually on the Wisp, making that kill guaranteed. TNN looking for the entry, but doesn't quite find it. Forced to ult out there as Moonlit Battlegrounds just force their way into the center ground, taking dominant position. Gonna find Jimmy in that bush, forced to tonk out around the vault. Maybe gonna kind of get out, but gonna run right into RTK. I don't know if RTK wants to give up their position either, though, with MB right here. Height looking to continue the chase onto Jimmy. Jimmy takes the 2-way across. I don't know. Doesn't look like Height's gonna want to follow that. TNN gonna be nearby.
right now, they're all just probably looking to have the best position they can have. They don't really want to chase for IRS when it doesn't provide that much value.
For sure. And like armor damage soul, like what a dream, right? Like 3 golds, armor damage soul, 2-way frog jump, scale, or eye. It's like...
Looking at MB's journey this game, they started with a team that essentially lost Cold Fang to them. They already had an advantage coming out of Cold Fang. They ran into another team where they had a macro advantage, immediately got a pick on one of them. They were running in disparity the entire time. They're farming damage. they're farming gold, they're farming positioning off of all of that, and they just keep pressing that tempo forward because there was no team that was able to match them at a 3-for-3 and mechanically challenge them at the same time.
Yeah, and it almost gets harder and harder, you know, throughout the course of the game, because coming, you know, into end game here, it definitely can be done, obviously, as we've seen them, you know, lose plenty of games, but it's just such a, you know, rolling in with so much tempo, so much power. Oh, huge play by 10. They take out Jimmy with the crown, get the res, go right back in it, but double pinched. Hog on the south, it'd be on the north, just like that. Both members are Dylan is down. 2 members of 10 looking to kite out. TNN to the south, just trying to live here, is gonna get sniped by Stevenator as RTK up to the north gets caught by Pamu. So after what was a really nice play onto the crown, they get completely punished by the 3rd and 4th party pinch there. And the whole time PSA just kind of biding their time, like you say, looking to play more of the position game, not wanting to overforce. And it may pay off here, as they are going to find a pretty nice spot in this next shift.
I mean, you know, right now, right here, playing with Stevenator, he is calling exactly where his team needs to be. He's saying which platform they should be fighting on. I kind of like their position, but MB is definitely ahead item-wise and armor-wise and soul-wise. So if PSA and Hog are smart, they're handshaking that they need to fight MB together, or at least weaken them.
Right. And it looks like MB maybe not wanting to let that happen, as they jump pad over the top onto Hog, trying to actually force them into the arms of PSA before something like that can happen. And they do take that space, but Hog has another island down here. Height shipping it in with the slam. Ooh. Hog in such a rough position, like, and this is like this, you know, MB can kind of force it. They have the power advantage. They jump pad over the top. Like, what are you supposed to do as Hogs there? You know, you basically have to either fight it or peel out. And when they peel out, they're forced in the arms of PSA with almost nowhere to go. So just like that, just only going to be Jang left on the Zeph here. Let's take a look at PSA is working with some pretty good. Oh, almost dunk coming through there for Height. And here we go. Moonlit knows they have the advantage here. They know they have the tempo. Again, they just force it in over the top. Maybe getting punished, though, as Fios takes out Pine. Now PSA has advantage. MB trying to just hold that Whisper as they get it through with the spike. So a huge shift in power there, as what was looking like a fight that could have gone PSA's way gets completely turned around. What were you about to say there, bro? Ooh!
The circle favors them too, so...
Ah! Yeah, not going to be enough. So yeah, just like that. I mean, you know, we're talking about space and positioning, and because MB already has such a, you know, a big kind of advantage as far as like overall power, instead of letting that handshake happen, they just force the issue. They jump pad over, you know, onto the top of Hogs, force them into the arms of PSA there, and then, you know, give themselves a nice, there's 1 member left here for Hogs, but it's not going to be enough to really do anything. So Moonlit Battlegrounds just do the same exact thing to PSA. And I think, like, right there, Immense, that was PSA's fight to win. You know, they get the knock right there. They have numbers. If they can force them off of that Whisperez, right? Like, that's...
I think PSA needed to jump in sooner, like, and fight MB with, when they went onto Hog, and just hope that Hog fights back a little bit to try to weaken them down a little bit more.
Yeah. Here, I'm gonna add this game 3 here on the text. How do I do this? Edit.
I mean, once it's the thing is just MB, they have good macro, they have good micro, and if they don't encounter a team who can challenge that, they're going to consistently get pretty decently ahead of some of the other teams that aren't able to keep up that tempo.
I guess, like, do you think
if
it's...
you threw TLD in the circumstance that MB was in, they'd probably be in that same situation right there, right?
Right.
But you need a team that's doing that. And there's a lot of new teams which are exciting and hopefully are, like, really getting to the point where they're challenging MB for that first position in scrims. I just don't think, though, that everyone is there yet. And hopefully when the game comes out.
For sure. And like you say, like, these players do have definitely a bit more experience. And one thing I will say too is, like, you know, there's definitely like some amount of like natural talent that comes through in the micro, like when the micro mechanics, right? Like when you're actually in fights, like the moment to moment decisions, reaction time, dodging, aim, all that kind of stuff. Certainly can be practiced and improved on and worked on. You know, some chunk of that is also just natural talent. But when you think of something about macro and like macro strategy, macro tempo, like these kind of esoteric game concepts that you can't just know intuitively. The only way to sort of realize them is to play, and not just play a little bit. You got to play a lot. And, you know, it's interesting to see how much that actually matters, you know, when you see some experienced players, like how every game are they able to basically get every objective they want? Not always, but very reliably. You know, MB will find exactly what they're looking for. And if, you know, a lot of times people just don't contest, and then we're in the same situation, you know, we saw last game where they just have this huge, you know, kind of power advantage at the end. And if teams do contest, MB has the mechanics to often win those battles. So it's like, it's such a catch-22 where it's like, it's you know, it's going to be really hard to find their number until these other teams have the same kind of amount of experience, understanding the map, understanding exactly where they need to go, exactly, you know, kind of how to path and what's efficient and what they should and shouldn't be doing. And, you know, some of these teams just, I think, have that quite a bit more figured out than others. And I don't think that's like public knowledge, man. It's like, I think a lot of that is stuff that these teams are keeping close to the vest. You know, we can see some of it play out as we're watching from a spectator view, but you know, I think a lot of what these teams are trying to do on that level of things, on the like sort of grand macro scale, they do, you know, kind of keep to themselves. That's not information they're sharing. That's not guides they're making. That's like, you know, their competitive intel that they're using to win.
See, well, right there, I mean, there was an opportunity, maybe PSA could win that, but MB won out in that circumstance, and just from, you know, some small micro or positioning decisions and whatnot, and now that's going to set them up with a pretty decent lead in the early game.
For sure. And we see been a lot of action over here in Gridlock. We see this is where 3 of the golds were, 2 of them on Zen and Saucyhack here, but they are down numbers. TLD want these golds for themselves as they are continuing the hunt here. Adamark gets the shift in with the Q onto Saucyhack. Saucyhack able to maybe get away from the north, trying to feather their way out, but it is going to buy Zen time to find a clean exit. Yo, Zekin, what's up, homie? Hope you've been well. Having a plan for what you want to do in a game instead of just dropping and winging it is pretty relevant. Yeah, for sure. I would say that's relevant. Hopefully all these teams have a good plan coming in. But I do think, like, you know, it does seem like some teams have superior plans, right?
I think it feeds into the confidence of the teams who are winning. So, MB, they must have extremely high confidence now. You know, they basically have a plan, and it basically always succeeds. So when are they ever going to hesitate?
Right.
Basically never.
And that, like, how much can that hesitation cost if you do hesitate, right? So the fact that they never do, and again, to your point on confidence, like that has such a huge role in winning those micro battles too, right? Believing, knowing that you can 1v3, like, you know, in certain situations, Height just knows he can 1v3, right? Like, because he's done it 100 times already. So it's like, I think like that is such a good call out on like the confidence angle and how important that ends up being, you know, as all this plays out. Nice little fight here coming in between NBA and FF. Blue Tuna on the flank with the carbine, maybe going to get isolated here as NBA sees him. Chinese spy looking for the chase, misses the nade, but nice burst from the MK7 rifle does take out Tuna. FF sees that, going to retreat probably with their 2 golds. They are going to have 10 just up here on the left.
Pokeball from Yggdrasil.
Oh, Jay, let's go.
That's exciting.
That is dope. I wonder what he has in there right now.
He's got a healing minion and maybe a jelly.
Healing minion's goated. Ooh, jelly. I actually haven't seen someone grab jelly. I do like that, though. I think healing minion's probably my personal favorite for the Pokeball.
I've seen him use the tank one just as like throwing it down so you don't take poke. Like you throw the Pokeball in front of you. So
Ooh,
he can always fire through it, right?
that's a cool idea too. I like that a lot. So 10 getting the better of FF here as Sosiak. FF was down to 2 members from that previous fight. Sosiak looking for a recall, quick recall here. Yo, Zen Sloth, what's up? As a baby supervisor or supervivor, it's insane to see how some of these people utilize their hunters to their full potential. I agree, homie. Most of these players, I think almost all of them at this point, are absolutely cracked at this game. And the difference between these guys' skill level is like inches, right? Like I think a lot of these guys are way ahead of kind of the general pack of supervisors. And then there is even like, you know, micro levels within the skill of these players where some of them, you know, like MB, like we've been talking about, are just really, really good. And Stevenator, again, you know, one of these players that does have not only the experience, but also the micro to back it up. Last member for Hogs here, looking to keep them in game 4. Still 12 squads left here as we see MB continuing the hunt onto PF, 2 members down just like that. And so MB not slowing down from their normal pacing here. Blink Stone, Fate Rewinder on the height, Brawl immense.
This is definitely looking concerning. I don't know how many teams know how far MB is ahead, but ideally they really need to be positioning to either get as much of a lead or stop them before they're monsters.
I guess, yeah, like
level 13 or so red items, double red height will be very difficult to play against. It's really hard to like just set up a position to fight against that.
Yeah.
He's got Fate Rewinder. He's got Blinkstone. He's Brawl.
Yep.
Is scanning.
Yep.
I mean,
And it's
we
like,
might see though. I mean, they make it's possible though for them to make a mistake or possibly get third party. You know,
for
there's
sure.
still
But
a
like,
window.
that's, you know, that's kind of the difference is like MB is like, they have to make it seems like a lot of times they have to make a mistake to be taken out. Whereas it's often the other, like not that way for some of these other squads. We see them continuing the violence. Really nice entry there from height. And he basically has a free entry with that rewinder. So UT forced out of there, going to go right into PSA though. It looks like Toy Machine maybe going to be able to get out to the south, but not going to be true for HKD as he gets taken out there. Toy Machine as well. So not going to have enough space running into PSA as well. Unfortunate for UT, but again, MB just pushing the tempo, finding another engage, almost another full squad wipe. The last one going over to PSA here,
I
but
think you make a great point of it's on them to make a mistake because they're trying to make the game be where it's their mistakes that lose them the fight rather than the opponent. You know, they're making their own game and executing their plan. So the only ways that they lose is if they make a mistake.
Right.
That's their goal, I would assume, right? Because they're trying to set up all this tempo. They see a team, they don't worry about getting third party, they're trying to collapse on it immediately. And then it's like, okay, well, if it fails, that was our mistake to, you know, right? They're always trying to push their advantage,
right,
making it very hard to catch them out in your game if you're not doing the same thing. And
right.
you know, they're one of the best at doing that.
And like, I actually, you know, Zekin's like point he made, it's like, it sounds kind of obvious, but I do think like, you know, teams should be coming in here with a plan. It's like, yeah, sure, of course. But I think it's a good call out because I do think some teams' plans are probably not only like better, like they're just more sort of like, because they have that experience level, just the plan itself is maybe a little bit like finer tuned, but also the plan is potentially like more detailed. Like some of these teams might just be dropping in with the plan of we start this vault and we play for, you know, whatever soul, closest soul or gold or whatever. Whereas MB's plan is probably like much more intricate than that. And like you say, they're basically following it to perfection, and anyone that forces them off of it, you know, so it's like basically like you said, like we were talking about, like up to them to make a mistake because they sort of know what they're supposed to be doing the entire time, every moment to moment. Where a team coming in with not so good of a plan is like, you know, a lot more, you know, and every second matters. Like we keep coming back to this, but it's like the point, the reason tempo is so important because just like in League, every second that you're not killing creeps, you're losing. Huge. Sorry, we're on such like a. I hope we're on such like a color monologue here. Going into some action, play-by-play, LPL or LPH. Nabbitman going down from FF. D&D looking for an entry here on the FF as they get those couple kills through. FF looking pretty strong though. See Bluefin Tuna throwing out the Q. Double golds here. Couple pinks. Masamune on Zen. Looks like they maybe are going to back out as we see Madness breaking out bottom right of the map. Saw a kill come through for 10. NBA still at full force there. It looks like it was going to be Hogs that got kind of picked. Steven Inner, last member left, looking to find their way out. Looks like they're going to be able to. 10 wants this. Looking for an engage as they throw out some poke. RTK has the grapple out. Like a bit of a standoff here. TNN looking for the R&B.
Jay has the grappling hook. I'm excited to see some movement tech.
Shift backward. Ooh, oh, actually really nice look from RTK there. He's going to get the kill through. Not able, like nothing crazy happening yet. Oh, he's going to get the mantle, so it doesn't get spiked there. Jay somehow able to live like always. Throws the healing creep out. Trying to sustain. Can he get the stun in the brawl? 1v1. He gets it. Jay doing Jay things. Jay, the Yggdrasil, gets a knock. TNN looking to follow up here, though. Last member left for NBA. Trying to keep the dream alive. Oh, just kidding. Chinese Spy still alive, trying to keep the dream alive. And right at this time, we see action all over the map here. We saw a couple kills on the kill feed coming through for TLD. It looks like Lemur in the train battle with Spade Storms. In the end, Spade Storms gets the arrow through, finds the knock, takes TLD out at 9th there, man. It's pretty early on for them.
Yeah, unfortunately, TLD ran into MB, and MB just had such a significant lead over them and threw them into poverty, and they weren't able to recover and got caught out in the end.
And it's like, sometimes it's like, if you have a mess up early, it can be like really hard to recover from in a lobby like this, right? Like just because of the tempo thing we've been talking about. D&D getting in a really rough spot here as they're pinched by multiple squads. Bluefin Tuna over here looking for the finish onto 3D is going to be able to get it. So D&D knocked out as well. A couple squads going down pretty quick here. Closing in towards more of a final circle. Still pretty big, lots of space. PSA and 10 still kind of duking it out down here, both back at full power.
The final abyssal has arisen.
We see nothing too crazy on the side of 10. Same with PSA. Not bad, but not too crazy.
An enemy oracle is
Kind of just posturing up here. RTK looking for something. Is going to force Starflash out of there. There's a lot of trading. RTK healing up. Starflash gets the grab. I don't think that they saw him through the wall. So really nice kind of sneak up by Starflash there. Gets the abyssal grab into the slam. Puts them into the wisp. They get the kill through. And they are going to have advantage here. Force 10 all the way out. RTK gets the crown, trying to make the miracle happen. Second says, mental is way more important than anything else when you're trying to play a video game and get better, succeed. I would 100% agree with that. I've never personally, I've done it for sports. Like I played college football and like my dream was always, you know, to go to the NFL. But I have never, you know, I applied that sort of mentality to physical sports, but that same exact sort of thing applies to esports, where confidence and mentality and like your mindset has such a big impact on how you perform, and how, not just how you perform, but how, you know, you're even like thinking about the game. And so I do love that call out. We see PF get taken out there at 6th as violence just continuing to ensue. This next shift going to bring these squads a lot closer together, but they're already up here getting ready for it. 4 squads at full power. RTK still left. Ooh, going for the cheeky box res with the crown. It looks like he is going to be able to get that through. Pamu sees it. Oh, so RTK thought he had space down here on this side of the map, but is going to get found out by PSA. Now he's trying to play through the storm. He has literally nowhere to go. There's double storm right here. He can't do it. Maybe just going to take the death and not give them the kill. Die to world, starve PSA of that extra kill point. Probably the smart play, but unfortunate there for RTK as they get knocked out at 5th. Sensaw says I get so scared when I run into a brawler gym. that's a normal like new player SUPERVIVE thing for sure. Good players on those hunters.
FF is decently strong here. They might be able to contest MB. I mean, not quite as good of powers, but you know, they have gold armor. They have all their red items, 2 Masamunes.
Yeah, is looking pretty strong here for
Delicate
them.
barrier is pretty decent.
They got a pretty good spot here too, I think, to work their way into the next shift. They kind of have inner position on PSA. PSA jump pads out, looking for it here.
Storm's on the move.
Oh, but they recall. I don't know. They changed their mind, or maybe they were trying to bait something.
I mean, if we look at the map, though, MB has set up where they don't have to really fight anybody, per se, unless Red decides to push, which it doesn't look like they're going to try to be too aggressive. I'm expecting MB to use their macro to third party again. And basically, they're not necessarily trying to push a lead until it gets down to the top 3 and they find one team
I
significantly
mean, look
weaker,
at this,
like last
bro.
game.
It's just like
Online.
full pink across the board, 1 gold, 2 blue, Linkstone Fate. And yeah, with position, not having to fight. And what that gives you, bro, especially with just 4 squads left, like being able to play patiently like that, like they're going to see these fights breaking out, right? So they are going to be looking around for intel on their map. They're going to see sound dots over here. Look, MB moves, you know, just like we were talking about, to find the third party here, already having that inner position advantage, while these other 2 teams are fighting for that inner position advantage. Doing a pretty good job at it. Saucy Hack chipping out Ophios pretty bad, but just like that, PSA forced right into the arms of Moon the Battlegrounds. Height is going to find that kill, or actually it was Pine that finds the kill. And so PSA down a member. They actually have a nice little pathing out to the left there. So FF
Looks
now
like FF
want it.
recover, though.
Let's go. They take out Pine. Saucy Hack goes in, like he needs the rest of his team to back him up. So Zen and Blue Tuna are here now. But it was too late. They find the Whisper, so MB back at full health. Huge snipe with the engage from Zen. Gonna take out Spadestorm's. Height super low as well. FF have like a crazy fight here, taking on this super powered Moonlit Battleground squad, but they're getting so many reses through. Another one comes through for Spadestorms. Dude, FF is just playing this marvelously, though. Saucy Hack putting out so much damage, almost gets Height down, but it's not going to be enough in the end. Height trades it back to full health. All of a sudden, what was looking so good for FF turns into just a 2v2, with MB still holding on to their double exotics with the GA. Really nice GA there from Pine to bring back Spadestorms
I think
twice.
it was the boss Orb of Life.
Oh, was it the
Orb
orb?
of Life was doing it, yeah, because they stepped on it. It was the Orb of Life
That's
both
dope.
times.
Good catch there. Love that. Pine actually going to get caught out here by their sister team, Moon the Battlegrounds Academy. So NBA
Yeah,
happy.
FF like actually played that really well. I mean, they did have decently 2 Masamunes is still, like, I would say stronger than everyone but Height, right, who had double red. But that's just letting him survive in the game longer. So they were able to attack that fight when they were back at full health and managed to put a armor after it was broken back onto Zen from looting one of the bodies. So it ended up being a fairly even fight when they actually took it. And the double Masamune and the engage from Saucy ended up just winning them that fight in the end.
Yeah, and I like the look there. They were kind of forcing PSA North. They probably knew a third party was coming in. They had already used their cooldowns early. So by the time MB comes in for the third party and uses their cooldowns to engage onto PSA, FF's cooldowns were back up. So I like the opportunity window they found, where I think they had a nice couple seconds there where they had cooldowns, MB didn't, and they find the angle. Gives them a really nice advantage in that fight, and they're looking to finish the job here. Height, last member left for MB. Such a powerhouse squad trying to make a miracle happen. Getting out over Abyss, looking for the dunk here onto Zen. Zen knows it, not going to chase because NBA looking to opportune on the back of FF. Saucy Hack and Tuna kind of caught out here with Zen isolated. Zen jump pad down, looking for the dunk over the top. Gonna get the slam, and a Chinese Spy gets it, engages through. Blue Tuna looking, pumping so much damage onto Zach. Zach able to peel out to the right though. Jay gets the shift as well, and after all that, but the train takes out Jay the Yggdrasil, putting NBA on the back foot. FF looking to follow up and finish, but look, Height, 12 seconds left on the brawl. FF sees it, they need this immense. Oh, rewind, 3 seconds.
Oh my goodness, the rewind.
And
Make a
MB is
comeback, though.
back.
They have no armor.
Yeah, FF needs to do it right here. They need to find, you know, a good, really good call out. No armor, kind of on the back foot. Probably no heals or anything either, except for on Height, unless he's able to drop some for people. But NBA still at 2, you know, kind of poking away up here. Not out of it yet. Chinese Spy does have that crown.
That was a spicy sequence. And I'm expecting to see, I don't know. I really like the way FF is playing. They're very aggressive and they're constantly trying to look for opportunities, but not like blind opportunities. They're playing off of what's happening like very well. And I think like patience here is going to reward them if they can find the third party rather than being third partied by Moonlit here. Minute left for NBA on the crown play. No one looking to force it just yet. No fire on the side of
massive
Moonlit.
damage
Oh yeah, they're getting
On the
chipped.
Saucy breaking his shield. I don't think MB sees it though. I don't think they know how low they are.
And-
But they're, yeah, so both teams are playing patient. They're just letting them repair their shields now.
Yeah, and we see only one fire in play. Immense, pretty abnormal for this stage in the game. It's just going to be FF with fire here. So they actually have a bit of an advantage being to heal up and repair like we saw there. Basically fully recovered from that chip damage. Height, whoa! Grapple, Blinkstone in, Fate Rewinder back. Crazy, man. Oh, and look like FF. This is what I'm talking about. They see those
they
are
just had
down.
to go for a
They
play.
find the window. They're going to get it. Spade Storms is down. Oh, watch the train. Sauce. That was their shot. Now they're going to get pinched by NBA. 2 seconds left on Crown. Chinese by Proxit. Jay is back. Zach healing up. MB finds the rest of FF. They take him out. Proc to Crown themselves, bro. Moonlit Battlegrounds back at full power as NBA engages. It doesn't matter though. Height, too much damage. Takes out Jay. The red armor, Blinkstone, Fate Rewinder, Height brawl. Just too damn strong. And in the end, MB take a third game out of 4 in Friday Night Scrims.
I respect the play from FF. I respect that play a lot. They try to find an opportunity to hurt MB because, you know, Height is still really strong. Double reds, never gave those up. They realize they are the stronger team and tried it, but it just doesn't quite pan out. They are aggressive on it. They end up getting
the train got him, dude.
Yeah, and the train.
Oh man, that was like, it was looking so good for FF, bro. And they were playing it very well too. Like most of the engages we saw were off of the back of opportunities. I love the way they see Height just ship it in with a grapple, blink, Fate Rewinder, miss, and instantly FF goes around to the left and engages onto you know, Moonlit Battlegrounds with those cooldowns down, and the fight was looking so good for them, bro. And I really think if that train didn't connect, I think it was with Saucy Hack on the Ghost, that fight would have looked completely different for FF. But in the end, you know, NBA finds the opportunity on the north side, gets the crown proc for themselves, puts up, you know, a fight after FF gets taken out, but it's not going to be enough here as we move into game 5 with, let me update our score here. Moonlit Battlegrounds looking dominant. Yo, Jackalakin, what's up, homie? What is this tomfoolery? Hope you're well, bro.
I'll be right back. I'm
Yeah,
just
no
gonna
sweat,
be a little
brother.
bit.
You are the drop leader.
Zen Sloth, lots of internal screaming happening during those fights. I'm getting Abyssal Cup 2 energy from that train. True, dude. Dude, that Abyssal Cup, the EU of the last Abyssal Cup was legendary. Some legendary like games, train kills and stuff. That was actually like, yeah, that was legit one of the closest, best tournaments I think I've ever watched in SUPERVIVE, that last Abyssal Cup. Yo, next Abyssal Cup coming up next weekend, everyone. Make sure you're tuning in to Just Relic. We're going to have all these players and more out here duking it out for big cash and pride over the course of a 2-day tournament. It's going to be super epic. So make sure to be, oh, look, he's right here in chat. Click on his name, follow his channel. That's where it's going to be live. And that is going to be a banger guaranteed. And I will be, I'm honored to be joining him and the crew for the cast on that. That is going to be a super good time. Last chance to sign up tomorrow. If you're not signed up and you want to play, last chance to sign up tomorrow. Join the Battle Hub Discord. If you need the link, I can get it to you. Or Relic can get it to you. All right, diving into game 5 here. Wait, let me update this scoreboard super quick. We got game 4. This is actually good for me. Nice suggestion by
debunked here because I can never remember who won. So this is good for my... Make this a little smaller, maybe. Okay, cool. Diving into game 5 here, baby. We got, you know, pretty normal drop. If we look at, trying to see where the golds are at. I think everyone's already kind of on top of them. Pretty spread drop, though. We got multiple teams down here in shards. Okay, yeah, here's 2 golds up here in shards. We see TLD, PF, and LPH all kind of positioning around it. Like TLD kind of have the inner ground here. Let's take a look at PF. Where's the shards vault again?
Enemy Oracle online.
I'm actually, oh yeah, it's up here. I'm like, bro, I'm trying to remember where the hell we can't actually see him. But yeah, other than that, not a much action coming through. If we take a look at the map, we got Damage Soul, XP Soul going to be dropping. Bombing runs coming through here. So Dylan putting on a show for the spectators. I love to see bomb. We were talking about earlier, but bombing run and cross country are some of my favorites to watch because it puts these players in such a tough spot. PF finding a nice fight there onto Adamark, kind of getting him isolated out, get the first pick through. They are down slightly in levels, but now they have numbers against TLD. We see Abador lurking down here in the bush as Lemur kind of just threatens. I think they actually like kind of want this fight. See them not fully backing off here. Lemur trying to bait a little bit there, give Abador an angle. It's not going to be enough. So wow, so PF now, pretty bold play here. They send 1 member to the vault door to try to get the golds while 2 fend off TLD, and it's not looking good. Yeah, so OC going to abandon the plan for a sec there to try to back up his team, but TLD, they're looking at the 2v3. They actually want it so bad. Abador just chipping so much damage with this myth, and no one really able to do anything to Lemur. OC looking for the punch, finds it, not quite getting the wall stun through, but Waterblaze follows up with a big R&B onto Abador, myth v myth. Waterblaze gets it through. Really nice follow-up on the engage from OC there to put big pressure onto Abador, guarantee TLD gets out of here so that PF can secure these armors. But I think Lemur threw a storm grenade onto the vault door, and the storm's moving in. So TLD doing literally everything possible to stop PF from getting these golds. But in the end, PF is going to get them. And the bombing run too, bro. It's just like everything working against PF. PF plays that pretty dang well, though. And they find their way out of it with double golds, rewarded for their efforts. Taking a look at 10 here, and Ion breaking the vault, level 6, getting everything online. We see most teams are across the map doing basically the same thing. Farming up, getting that level 6, looking to maybe position to find some picks to move it up to level 7. See PSA, one of the teams we were talking about last game, off to a really nice start here. Masamune gold onto Starflash with gold on Pamu, double sand wall. Ooh, glider gas evolve on a Fios. So PSA looking really good here in the first couple minutes. Taking a look at UT, maybe having an angle onto D&D, but it's actually maybe Hello from D&D that has the angle. I'm not sure UT sees them here. Where's the rest of D&D? The rest of D&D is over here by their fire, farming, buying up. Hello's just kind of playing for intel here. It's such a... Okay, Messengers does see him, so I think Hello... Ooh! Gonna get the double shift! Oh, no! Oh, was almost able to shift into the mantle for the guaranteed dunk, but this little bridge, I think the angle of his shift, he wasn't able to get the mantle. Actually goes over the top of bridge, so not able to get the guaranteed dunk through. A nice look from Hello, but kind of gets traded back. I think the rest of D&D going to be just fine to hopefully get him back up on that res by fire. As we see FF, our second place team from last game, looking very strong, almost getting pinched there as IRS coming in from the right, and PSA looking to play off of that armor advantage and find a fight here. Zen and Tuna are on the level 7, so ult for the Brawl, ult for the Carbine could make a difference here. It looks like NBA finding their way into the action as well. Big engage by Zen, follow up by the team. Saucy Hack takes out Zach, so NBA in a rough spot here. They can't go north because that's where IRS is. So Jay is able, it looks like, to get out to the south. But it's still going to be a little bit of a rough spot as we see quite a few other squads around here. It looks like FF does want the chase. Jay maybe finds the train. Nope, Zen going to force him off. Oh, Jay in a rough spot here with all 3 members of FF on his trail. Does have the wings, trying to play back while he's pumping. Trying to do some Krista magic. Gonna be a tough ask here, though. Maybe finding Sauciac. Sauciac sees it, kites back. Doesn't want to give him that heal reset. Jay now trying to just feather at the bottom is going to get taken out. So NBA going out at 12th there. Off of a crazy kind of like 4-way fight up here in Prisma. Zick, what microphone you got? Sounds like you got a ear, Jack Lacken. It is precisely a Shure SM7B. And we actually, like 2 days ago, got, because my mixer died, and I got a Rodecaster Pro 2, which is fucking expensive as shit. But I think I sound better than I've ever sounded. And I actually don't think my old mixer was using the Shure SM7B to its potential. So I'm honestly like low-key kind of glad it broke, because I think I sound significantly better than I did before. Because I think the Shure is literally like made, or the Procaster, God, the Rodecaster Pro 2 is made to integrate with the Shure SM7B. Like I literally just selected it off the menu and it like auto did the gain and everything, and like just sounded legit with almost like no setup. Sounds buttery smooth. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. That's what we're going for, baby. The butter smooth. All right, we have quite a few squads left as we're moving into a pretty small final circle here. Remember, we are on bombing run, so it is going to get pretty heated with fire all over the place. We just saw one member from LPH get a recall through. They all just repositioned down here. Like they had a teammate down here. We see not coming through for TLD onto PSA. PSA forced off top left. Pamu looking to recall. Ooh, violence breaking out over here with Moon the Battlegrounds. Fighting over Machine. FF to the south, 10 to the left. It looks like it's just Bluefin Tuna for now. Potentially the rest of FF lurking. Height does have that delicate, but not in play right here as they're mid-combat. Only green armor for MB, so not the kind of normal tempo, but they do have the double exotic. Boombox, but like we said, delicate not doing much for him here. Oh, really nice pin from Spadestorms. Gets the R&B into Bishop there. They get the knock through. Bluefin Tuna looking for the snipe. I think Pine got the heal through right as that connects. So Bluefin turns around, kills Dylan, who's one shot, running from UT here. UT actually finding a really nice third party. I think just going to be RTK left for the side of 10, as 10 was the ones looking for a third party of their own that fight, and it is going to get spoiled by UT. So nice, I think, heads up play from UT here. FF been pretty split this whole fight. We just saw Bluefin Tuna kind of pumping on the south here. Is still poking away with Pine. Oh, barely gets the recall over to his squad. They're going to get that fire down, start playing around position. As, yeah, lots of squads left coming in to this final circle. And this part of the map is like really spicy because you not only have a lot of abyss, you have a lot of terrain to like line of sight, and then you got the lasers coming into play. You always end up seeing, and we got bombing runs too. Look at that. It's like literally like XP Soul laser beam into Sauciac as they try to avoid some Moonlit Battleground damage. There are going to be a lot. Oh, Moonlit Battlegrounds take a massive chunk out of UT there. Somehow Toy Machine gets away with 1 health with the Tonk Tonk, but Moonlit Battlegrounds again just looking so dominant. Especially like this comp they're running, man. They're looking so solid with Pine on the Zeph, absolutely goated on that Hunter. I mean, all 3 of these guys, these are basically like some of their best comfort picks. Spadestorms on the Myth, Pine on the, or sorry, Height on the Brawl. And like, that's like we talked about it earlier. That's a pretty clean kind of standard comp. You got your range DPS carry, you got your support, you got your engage, you know, kind of melee, making stuff happen, and it's looking really good for them. And I'm wondering, like, you don't see a ton of other squads running a support, which is something like I've found a bit interesting, you know, because I've been away for like a week and a half, but coming back into things here, it's like I'm actually really surprised to not see as many Zephs or Oaths or Bunnies. We do see some Oaths, certainly not as many as we did before the nerf. But speaking of Oath, TLD, Lemur on the Oath here has the Masamune, Amador on a Masamune as well. Adamark with the gold. TLD looking pretty strong here. 9 squads left. Everyone kind of slowing down a little bit. Just kidding. FF constantly looking for fights. And I love, like, these guys are not afraid to fight Moonlit Battlegrounds. These two teams have been duking it out since before the final circle of last game. And it looks like Height is going to get the slam through onto Sosiak. Sosiak forced out with the shift, trying to poke as he falls back. FF does has the XP soul, so they probably have 1 or 2 abilities on level 4, but not quite level 13 to put that to full power here. Nice snipe coming through there from Spadestorms. Take out Bluefin Tuna. The rest of FF forced back. Moonlit Battlegrounds continuing the pressure here. And it looks like FF does have some space to get out, but gonna be really tough. Oh, Zen just absolutely pumping big pressure onto Height, but the rest of MB not letting up. Ooh, Pine gets the snipe through, remarked, and follows up. So Saucy Hackett's down. It's just gonna be Zen here. Sneaks a crown for himself and maybe finds an angle out. So good look by Zen to keep FF in it after a fight that didn't quite go their way, but I do like the look. D&D playing very patiently down here. Ooh, just popping a replicator, you know, kind of maximizing their power. I do like that. Probably something specific they wanted to replicate. We see 3D with double 2-way. We see a mana battery on Hellos. Another squad eliminated. Missing fights up here as LPH goes down. Another kill in squad Elim from Moonlit Battlegrounds as Zen with the crown finds 2 members of IRS in the abyss here. Mirror Vigil one shot. Jimmy doing their best to just stay alive, hover on the edge. Bluefin Tuna jet packs it in, gets 1 kill through on Mirror Vigil. It's just going to be Jimmy left. Takes the Sorrows TP, takes it back, trying to work some jukes, but into the rain, into the storm, not going to be able to make it happen. And it looks like FF is not done. These guys are constantly looking to fight. Bluefin Tuna never letting up the pressure on that carbine. Knows he has the mobility to get out if he needs to. And here we go. The Battlegrounds just continuing the hunt. We see a kill onto Jang. Looks like just 1 member left. Oh, Wadle is in the action here. Let's go. Wadle with the crown on the Shiv damage soul. Go Hogs. Would love to see the magic happen here. We've seen it before from Wadle. One of my favorite players, and I haven't seen him play in a hot minute, but love to see him back out here. He's gonna run right into Zen. He wants this crown kill. I'm not sure if he knew it was gonna be a 1v2. Trying to dagger out. Look for the, oh, a huge ulti. He gets it through. Let's go. Wadle procs the crown. All of Go Hawks is back. Zen on the back foot now. 12 seconds for the crown of his own, but it's going to get spoiled by the Moonlit Battlegrounds third party. So Wadle showing up huge for Go Hogs. Let's go, baby.
What a way to come back in. That was an amazing Shiv dagger into ult.
It was looking a little sketch from there, but he's able to pull it out. I really like the play there from Wadle, and it's really good to see him showing up big. Have you seen, has he been scrimming this week? Immense, have you seen Wadle out here at all?
No, I haven't seen him.
I think he is just making the return debut today with Go Hogs, which is super freaking hype. Yeah, so yeah, okay, so Lunaris, that's what it was. Lunaris was subbing because I think Wadle couldn't make it until now. So I think after game 4, Lunaris traded out for Wadle, and now this is the actual Go Hogs lineup, where this is the Go Hogs we will see in the future: Jang, Wadle, Stevenator, and all these players extremely skilled. They're gonna find a really nice engage from the Bishop there onto Diamond. Nothing Diamond can do. Completely stun locked, eliminated at 5th there. But Go Hogs this game looking quite strong here. We see Jang, the quick Vive Infuser and a health pack, so going to be able to stay alive quite a long time on that carbine. Pretty self-sufficient. And I'm a big fan of this comp. Immense Shiv, carbine, Bishop.
We have the classic glider jet Shiv.
Classic.
The thing that used to be so broken. Double glider jet Shiv. It's only 1 glider jet, but...
And the damage soul to back it up. So gonna be a scary Hogs team. They're looking for TLD here. Wadle shifts in for the flank on Adamark. Gonna get a little chip damage out, but not gonna be really enough to threaten, as TLD now playing for position, kind of holding their space. Coming down just south of them, we see Moonlit Battlegrounds doing the same thing. They were able to grab that XP soul away from FF with that killing blow onto Zen, and it's gonna be a pretty good spot for them here as they kind of hold this bottom position. 4 teams left, going to slow down a bit here. Maybe the bombing runs. Wait.
Yeah, it is bombing runs to this game. So maybe the bombing runs will force the issue sooner, but it looks like for now, these teams just comfortable playing space. Just kidding. Moonlit Battlegrounds always looking to fight. They find the engage onto PSA. Atheos is down. Starflash trying to play around the res, but Hogs just to the north literally has nowhere to go. So Moonlit Battlegrounds able to just move up and finish that. Pamu, nice heads up play on the Sarus, able to portal through the wall, get himself out of there. But look, TLD trying to pinch Moonlit Battlegrounds into Hogs. They find the angle. I think Hogs needs to try to look here. Boombox is down. Lemur looking to just heal up. Ooh, big force out, pushes multiple members out. Spadestorm's now isolated a little bit on the south side, but Lemur, the same thing with him, kind of caught out to the north. Gonna run right into Hogs. Trying to just do his best to live here, get back to his squad, and he does. So nice heads up play from Lemur there to survive a tricky situation. And in the end of all that, no one losing a member, but two members from PSA going down as Pamu finds their way through the wall. Yo, Ethan, what's good, brother? Sorry, I saw my buddy in chat.
After he's basically not been playing Oath at all, Oath gets nerfed 2 times in a row. Now Lemur's playing it. It's kind of cool to see.
Lemur likes to play.
He's not phased at all by nerfs or anything like that. This is the time to play Oath, and he's playing it really well too. I mean, everything you see him play, he always plays it well. It's just still cool to see. Oath is a pretty hype character.
Yeah, and I like Lemur always kind of is like, you know, when he's doing like, he has respect for like what's overpowered, and oftentimes he will opt out of that. Like when he was doing his solo queue challenge on Brian Koala, no Jin, no brawl rule, right? Like these kind of things. Yeah. Like I really like the way Lemur, you know, kind of plays in that way where he's not looking to play the most powerful champion. He thinks, you know, all the champions can be strong, and looking to prove it here, picking up the Oath, like you say, after quite a significant nerf. I mean, multiple nerfs over the last few months, but pretty big one coming through at the last.
I don't know how huge it is, but it was multiple nerfs, though. That's for sure.
I think when you if you add everything up, especially with the pod racing being removed over the last few months, it's a lot that Oath's been hit with. As MB looking for the engage, they're kind of forced out by TLD. They go over the top onto Hogs. Hogs doing a nice job defending. That boombox is huge, though, keeping those members of MB at full health as TLD finds the flank. But go Hogs, miraculous two-way teleporter, absolute thing of beauty right there as they remove themselves from the pinched position and put Moonlit Battlegrounds into the pinched position. Now it's just going to be Spadestorms left, and after a beautiful macro play,
wow, the
Hogs find the dude. Let's go in TLT, not giving Hogs a second to breathe. Waddle trying to make a miracle happen with the Fusillade, not going to be enough damage. So I absolutely love the play there from Go Hogs, but in the end, TLD does not let up the tempo. They scoop around to the right and find the flank after all of the cooldowns are down, and TLD take the victory. But that was a spicy final, events.
I really like how Lemur played that. He went in, tried to push him out of the boombox, saw the teleporter, and decided to play back a little bit, let Hog get out and reposition. And they went again to third party. Like, they were very careful not to be the ones who were getting caught, but to be the ones catching the others out.
For sure. Yo, OC, Oath still best character in the game? I think he's still quite strong as well. And there's definitely like there's been some removal of the stuff that was like OP, but he still has his base kit, which is very strong, very powerful to work around. So I do agree that I do think he's still quite strong. I don't know if best character in the game at this point, but I like the point. Yo, Ethan, I just want to say what's up, brother. I miss you. I hope you're doing well. You sound like me when I was commentating Doll playing games on his PlayStation. I hope I sound maybe a tiny bit better than that, but thank you. I'm trying to be legit here. EU still has 10 oaths per lobby playing in NA is something for sure. That's funny. I always love
definitely one of the teams I'm pretty excited about. Also.
Dude, they've been pumping, bro.
Watching them play.
Yeah, they've been actually pumping.
Because, I mean, Saucy Hack started a team like a month and a half ago or so. They've had to let Matty go because he got busy with real life stuff. Now he's taking on Bush. Mods is subbing in right now. But Saucy Hack, right? He's a good player, and he's just improved his macro in these scrim environments a lot over the short period of time that he's made a team, which is pretty exciting to see. Then obviously Zen is just a really mechanically good player.
So Zen's someone that I actually didn't even see until I think the last arena tournament, which was like, I don't know, month and a half ago maybe. And
right,
he was impressing me, and I think that was my first time seeing him. And yeah, it's cool to see him sticking with the brawl, because like, especially as a newer player, that's certainly one of the harder hunters to make work, you know, not only just in general, but especially in like a competitive scrims environment like this.
well, he can play more than Brawl, but I think they've just decided Brawl is so good right now that he should be playing Brawl. I think that was like a conscious decision. They wanted him to stay on it.
I do know he likes big swords, and he does like Brawl, because I saw him complaining that he couldn't use his big sword in the arena tournament because I didn't want him on Brawl.
Choose wisely.
1,000,000% better. Thanks, bro. Yo, I've said it multiple times now, but I just got a new mixer and I'm kind of in love with it. Yo, I also it's got this programmable bank of buttons on the side where I could legit, like, I'm gonna program some SUPERVIVE emotes. Like, imagine on command bing bong.
Oh, that's dope.
Dude, I could just press it like mid cast.
Yeah, dude, you need to add that.
That'd be
you
sweet.
Need to add that.
And then you can also do like voice effects, or I think I could do one where I could like press a button and it would go like you know, like broadcaster, like megaphone, or like in a church or whatever. Like you can set the different like voice effects to have different like ambience. But anyways, I gotta mess with
Oh,
that.
right, like a radio announcement. Ibby has already gotten the first kill. Or
Yeah, yeah,
something.
yeah. Just switch to like radio voice.
Breaking news.
On
I just did all that.
Yo, Relic says on command bing bong sounds like a get high quick metaphor. Holy shit, that's too funny. Yo, high on vibe, baby. Give it to me. You need a clown horn too? Clown would be a good one. Good call, Sloth. I think like I want cinema. Absolute cinema. There's a couple I want. That's a Good Nuke is one of my favorites of all time. It's been in the game for so long, and I've pressed it so much. I just love it. I love the way some of the emotes like scale. He's like, that's a good nuke. That's a good nuke.
I didn't even know it worked like that. I need to use emotes more.
Yeah, if you press them twice, some of them will like scale up, and like the nuke one is great. Especially if you see a good nuke and you spam it. It's like the one of the best emotes. Oh my god, man, 6 teams dropping Ion.
Oh man. Let's see what happens here. Who's going to be in poverty or win out the Ion?
Wait, TLD just egoed the middle here? Gets it all for
Well,
themselves?
right? Because everybody left.
What?
They watched where everybody was landing. They just all left.
That's crazy, bro. Yeah, so one goes south and the other 4 squads go north. 2 of them landing on top of each other up here and the other 2 over here. But off of the back of that, TLD just gets a free drop Ion. We saw all 3 of them split all 3 camps. They already have the whole biome pretty much cleared up here, and they're going to be looking for some of these teams dropping nearby who they know are going to be a lot less farm than them. So we see TLD moving to try to find potential tempo early. FF, though, going to be the first ones to the vault with the gold. Going to be such a sketchy thing to try to hack here, immense. 2 players at level 3 trying to take the double gold vault with so many teams lurking.
Yeah, I don't know if they can do this. That just seems like a bad idea.
It does seem like a bad idea. It looks like
Sauciak's just completely caught out. How does he get out of there?
Yeah.
He doesn't. He just dies for that.
And
I
here
think he really wanted it because that was the idea, but now 6 teams are there. So
Yeah.
how are you going to contest this vault without killing people?
Right. An audible needed to be called there, and it wasn't quite. So we see TLD, like we said, looking to play off that early tempo. Really nice bright shield into the wall there from Lemur. Puts Apostle into Wisp bait.
Ooh.
They're going to stand on it to... Oh, Lemur. Just one tapping.
Oh my god.
It becomes a criminal. It doesn't matter as PF down to one member.
It looks like
OC going to be just fine finding
TLD
this.
might have won the trade, but there are still 3 teams here.
Yeah, and these other teams have kind of caught up now. We see PSA on 6. FF still very much on the back foot. Saucy Hack is back,
Yeah.
but Bluefin's about to go down here. Saucy Hack looking to play out here, but hopefully PSA doesn't chase. Looking for the recall. Oh!
Speaking to what Second was saying earlier, coming in with a plan, it looks like FF came with a plan, but when it went south, when 6 other teams dropped there, they didn't change their plan. And they still went with it, and that ended up biting them.
Yeah, and that's like, you know, I think a good point, like a really good point actually, is part of a good plan is being able to like adjust the plan on the fly, right? Like you got to be able to audible a little bit. And I think like probably, you know, teams with more experience and teams that, you know, often are coming in with really good plans, they have that figured out a little bit, right? Where they kind of know, and especially because they've been in that situation so often, right? Where if their plan gets kind of foiled, they kind of probably know what plan B, C, and D are based on where they're at in the map. And because they've been in that situation so many times, you know, it's kind of a lot easier to, you know, to kind of call that, realize it, and go for it like all together rather than a little bit of what we saw from FF there.
I really do respect the commit, though. They want to know how they drop there, that they do get that gold vault. And maybe they learn from this experience and are like, okay, this is one of the situations where it doesn't work. Maybe they had to drop on TLD, for example, because TLD ended up getting to level 5 or 6. Maybe they had to drop north because in their situation, it just didn't end up aligning for them where they had any camps past 3.
For sure.
They had to send Zen away. Anyways, maybe it was the plan, send Zen away, maybe we get a free vault. I don't care if we die, we're already so far behind.
Yeah, yeah. I think we saw this fight break out up here. PSA able to recover off of that OC res in Kobas. They found a really good fight against D&D and forced the last member 3D up. And he like ran into the resing FF. Really unlucky, actually, that they're still this deep into Storm in this exact spot. And he can't find his way around Kobas. Is going to get taken out there as our first squad. So D&D in game 6. Going to be removed for now, and I like the recovery from PSA. They're back to full power. Starflash able to get a delicate disguise somehow in the mix of all that. TLD want round 2 though.
Starflash is pretty set up here.
Playing
almost got the hook.
Playing Abyssal Hatchling for the nuke here. They are going to get it down and get the nuke, and the nuke kind of separating TLD from potentially scooping that. So now Starflash delicate. And Mega Nuke. Going to be quite a good look here. Actually, yeah, I got a really good recovery from what was a sketchy drop in all the madness around Ion. IRS looking for a fight against UT, or UT playing off of this fire, trying to cap it so they can get some healing, some vision through. IRS looking to push the issue, though. Ophiondis in with this shift, and the Bright Shield going to get forced out, taking big chunk damage from the back of Messengers and HKD. I mean, when you put the Carbine and the Ghost together, Immense, like that's just like a lot of pump if like players are connecting their shots. Like that's a lot to live through.
Oh, Carbine does a lot of, I mean, compare those two teams. Which one's going to be putting out more damage? Is it the Carbine Ghost or the Celeste Bebo?
Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah, the Celeste Bebo Oath is much more looking for the Wombo combo setup. Going to be much harder to just win those scraps. Ooh, Starflash, Bush. Primal Slam gets the delete onto Abador Lemur, looking to play around that Wisp, but PSA sees it, forcing him off here as TLD down to 2 members going to the north. Another nice fight by PSA. Looking good.
PSA are looking really set up right now. I mean, it depends on how they play going into zone, but they are definitely one of the strongest teams on the board.
We see IRS trying to move in. LPH looking kind of hold inner space on them here. They do have the Hudson, so, you know, pretty good character, literally designed to hold space. Oviondis doesn't care, ships it in, throws down the Abyssal Breaker. Huge Wombo! We were talking about the Wombo combo. We see it beautifully right there from IRS. Jimmy with the Tonk Tonk, sending Mirror Vigil into the middle of 2 members, puts LPH in such a rough spot. IRS executing the Wombo to perfection there, getting the full squad wipe. Let's go.
That has to be satisfying for them. I mean, you're playing this comp, this is what you're trying to look to do. And the Oath went in, it distracted them enough. They were not prepared for that Wombo to come in from the side.
100%. And yeah, you love to see it come through. That's the plan coming together right there. Toy Machine looking to fend off Zen. Zen gonna get caught by TLD, gets bright shielded into the rotating spike. Brutal. TLD on a rampage here, just finding one kill after one kill. These players just split out, but they're gonna run right into Moonlit. We haven't seen Moonlit all game, but of course, Immense, their full golds, 3 exotics, level 10, looking scary
TLD
here.
has white armor on 2 of their characters.
Like, it is so tough to keep up with this Moonlit Battleground tempo, even if they're not involved in any action. Look at this. Vive Infuser, Masamune, evolve from Pine. Yeah, it's just like already such a strong force to be reckoned with here for the side of Moonlit Battlegrounds. And that's literally just looking at their overall kind of power level, like their kind of mechanics aside. Like, they're just looking terrifying right now. Oh, action happening.
Starflash's team is equally set up if they don't get behind it anyway. I mean, it looks like they did lose a.
I think there was,
though,
yeah, I think
they're only on green shields.
I think at some point they were, and they got like wiped, and they had a little reset that we missed potentially. But MB continuing to keep up the violence. They engage onto NBA here. Height looking for it, grapples in. Ooh, maybe a little bit too far here. Looking for the dunk potentially, and NBA is able to get that. So really nice kill confirm onto Height. NBA going to get that Mega Cluster nuke for themselves, as well as the gold armor.
For them.
Yeah, so big pick. All right, 10 and Saucy Hack, or sorry, 10 and FF positioning a bit over this Guardian.
It looks like FF's kind of caught up a little bit. 2 white armors though.
So yeah, they nice fight there with them. I mean, they, like, looked pretty clean by 10 to just kind of wipe up FF there. We've seen FF on a tear, but that was just a really kind of calculated fight by 10, able to completely remove FF from the map. They get knocked out at 10th. For game 6, Wadle in with the Fusillade. Big damage out into Abador. Jang helping to confirm that kill from the back on the Carbine. All of a sudden, TLD in a rough spot. Adamark looking to live. Jay is here as well for the side of NBA. Now we got a little 1v1 happening as they try to run from Hogs here. Adamark doing his very best to survive. Has double bungee on the Fox. 360 into the grind rail. 10x multiplier. Gets the combo through the teleporter. That's at least like a 10,000 point Tony Hawk combo right there. All right, coming in. Still 8 squads left as we kind of come into a pretty tight final circle here. It is Twisters
this
this
game's
game.
looking a bit more even now. I mean, we see several strong teams. But it looks like TLD's trying to make a play on PSA, who's already lost both their reds. Oh, but they get the kill on to Lemur, or to Lemur's team.
I think, yeah, I'm not sure. They got the spike through. I'm not sure exactly what happened or why the gliding happened, but yeah, PSA able to get that crown proc. I think it was Adamark that got taken out. And like you say, Immense, PSA continuing to look strong here, even though a little bit on the back foot,
well,
not letting up.
Yeah, they lost their double reds. I
Oh,
wonder who has the delicate disguise, but PSA still manages to get a pick.
even with that's Hogs kind of engaging, you know, not quite as a third party, but just after the fight, thinking PSA maybe has cooldowns down, and PSA say, nope, we are still super strong, and they take the fight. They eliminate a member. Steven, they are forced out to the north here. Literal one shot. IRS potentially sees it and going to be looking for it. Steven, they're looking for the recall. Probably his only option. They're not quite able to get it through. But yeah, PSA showing up big this game.
Shift just did not notice Starflash coming in. He just double dashed and slammed and got the kill. He didn't even go for a hook. Just the Shiv went, I think, used her shift over the Abyss. And that set her up in a bad situation.
Did you Lemur just shifts the height dunk right there? Did you see that? I don't know. That was crazy. There wasn't even anything there to mantle, so yeah, I don't know if I've seen.
You can movement tech cancel the dunk. Yes, it's very hard.
Wait, did he shift? So he would have had to shift before the dunk went through?
it's like a really delicate timing. I don't know the exact perfect timing, but there's specific timings you can do to prevent even like gen dunks, brawl dunks.
Well, the one I've seen is like the
Uh,
mantle, where you can
Kingpin
sometimes
dunks.
catch a mantle from it, but that was just completely an open abyss. And it
Yeah,
looked
it's
like
even
he
just with
literally
the
just
shift.
shifted the bottom of it to me.
Yeah, yep, yeah. It's with the shift.
That
It's
was
something along
crazy.
the lines of that.
So off the back of that, Lemur's still in it here. They find a little bit of an angle onto IRS. IRS in a really rough spot with Hogs to the south, trying to kind of turn it around on TLD. We see both Mirror Vigil and Ophiandus moving up to the north. And Tonk Tonk out from Jimmy is able to get Adamark and Hogs follow up. So after all that, a really nice play from IRS to reverse the pincer, find their way north of TLD, make TLD the team in the middle. TLD gets taken out by the Hogs follow-up, and in the end, Hogs probably coming out the real winner of that as they find a member of IRS on the way out. So like really well played by IRS, but Hogs continuing to kind of impress here. Let's see. We got PSA who found their way. Yeah, go ahead.
MB has recovered. They did get back armor already in the middle of the board. Meanwhile, Waterblade's just staying out in the abyss, praying for a crown, I suppose.
I do love to see Waterblaze back out here too. I know Waterblaze was on a bit of a hiatus. It's cool to see Waterblaze. Jack-a-lackin' too. I was like, some of these guys I haven't seen for a little bit. It's really cool to see you guys back out here. Go Hogs, baby! Let's go. Yeah, seeing Hogs back out here, it just is like, it's making me big smile. I got a big grin on my face. I love seeing everyone back in the action. Everyone hopefully getting a little hype. Waterblaze does get taken out there. Everyone hopefully getting a little hype for 1.0, starting to train up a little bit, wanting to, you know, be at full strength in a couple months when that does hit. I respect it. Ooh, big fight breaking out here. We see 10 looking for a possible fight onto PSA. They're going to get kind of forced out off of that platform. We saw Height come in from an engage at the top, but Moon the Battlegrounds backs out as Hog comes in from the right. Now PSA in a really rough spot on an island between two squads on the right. Stevenator looking for the engage with the Bishop ultimate in there. Oh, I was going to say really nice Q from Pamu to stop it, but he gets sniped on the way out as he's gliding. So it's just going to be Star Flash left. Trying to just find somewhere to live over here. No, he's gonna skate right into 10. Sees it, shifts to the right, doing everything they can to live. Meanwhile, Moon the Battlegrounds take out Jay on the side of NBA. That's gonna leave just Zach left on the Bishop for Moon the Battlegrounds Academy. And Starflash able to find that crown, make their way out. Height looking for it. We're about to see a dunk battle. Kingpin's looking to be able to be close enough to mantle so he can get his reliable grab shift dunk through. Finds a little bit of a place to reset glider fuel on this box.
To stand on.
Yeah, instantly forced off it though. I wish you next time, dude. I'll test it so you're not delayed and it'll be better. But we definitely should do this again. I'm really loving your color, bro.
It's fun. It's fun.
So
Hog
nice.
has been playing so well at this game, like positioning wise, they find the opportunities to third party and come in, recover. Sadly, Shiv is down to green shield, and Stevenator had to give up to a green shield. But they're fairly strong. They couldn't put up a fight here. I think MB is still right now has managed to recover to be the strongest team again. They have the delicate disguise.
Oh my.
They have the strongest shields, all triple gold. They have the air soul. Right now, they're probably still the strongest team. Masamune on the Zeph.
Airsoul going to be coming in big here with this final circle too. A lot of Abyss to play around. Hogs capitalize on the retreating NBA, find the kill, and kind of holding just a spot on their island. Whoa, 10 way out here with the beacon. They are going to get it through. I love it. So going to be back at full force with RTK in the mix. They two-way out. Going to be finding their way over. I don't think they have a platform or anything, so they actually have to find real land. No Bebo, no platform. IRS probably having kind of the best position here with the Bebo in play, besides MB with their Air Soul.
Yeah, IRS has been playing the corner of the map this entire game, and they've been getting third parties on every team that they've fought, except for that one fight where they managed to take out the Hudson team going in with that engage, but they're just playing relatively safe, trying to play this Abyss to their advantage. However,
sure.
I mean,
This is like just
Indeed is
madness
getting a
breaking out
huge
here,
lead
immense. Just everyone murdering
now
each
it
other.
looks like... Can Hog survive this?
It's going to be really tough. Just Jang left is going to get taken out there. So just like that, 3 squads left. That was a really heated battle in the end. Hog's kind of in a rough spot there between multiple teams trying to fend off this full force Moonlit Battlegrounds. Like you just were mentioning, such a, kind of powerful setup. And it's funny because even when we're not spectating Moonlit Battlegrounds throughout the course of a game, even when they're not getting a bunch of kills, they're still just constantly rolling up their objective tempo. And then all of a sudden they're still in final circle with something like this, coming up against
something
these.
had to happen. We saw one of them get killed and lose their shields, lose everything. They didn't have Delicate Barrier at the time.
That
So
what you're talking
I
about
think
when
something
Height got
happened.
picked and his mega cluster got taken?
Yeah. So they had to have killed somebody and looted somebody's death box.
Yeah. I mean, and that's like something where you kind of expect that from them, right? Where if they, you can maybe take 1 gold from them, but that's not really going to slow them down. They lost the mega cluster nuke, but again, not a crazy deal. Something like, the Fate Rewinder that we've seen, or the Gale, probably a little higher value.
Look at Trico here. He just doesn't care. He's just walking up, going immediately trying to poke them as the lone Zeph, not worrying at all about IRS damage, because
sends him almost into a Height dunk there, able to barely live, gets the ice out, nuke coming through there, so IRS forced all the way out. But yeah, you're right, MB just holding their ground, kind of holding all the ground here, forcing these other teams to come into them. And IRS doesn't necessarily have to with the Bebo ice, but like there's really just going to be nowhere to go for them. And they're trying to clump, but they're just eating so much damage here. Looks like Jimmy is going to be able to tonk out and gets the bomb out. Height finds the dunk onto Miravigil. It's just going to be Jimmy left here. Has a prayer and a dream. 2 members left for MB, so still can make it happen. Gets the bungee onto Height. Platform out. Almost able to get a spike through there, but Height has the platform, gets it out. So Jimmy still trying to live here. Probably going to throw a little ice out of his own. Height looking for the dunk. Grapples in. Is going to get it through there. So Jimmy, actually, I think, I'm not sure if he ran out of glider fuel, if he was just like trying to starve them of a kill point there, but ends up going down to Abyss. Moonlit Battlegrounds showing up absolutely massive in Friday Night Scrims, taking their 4th victory out of 6 games. Absolutely dominant performance from Moonlit.
How did you feel about these scrims? You watched the whole thing through. I mean, what really stood out to you, besides obviously MB just having an amazing performance? Were they always on the Zeph each game, or were they changing it up?
It was I think they have a lot of, I think, power in this composition they're running, because they have Pine on the Zeph, who he's absolutely cracked at. They have Spade Storms on the Myth, who he's absolutely cracked at. They have Height on the Brawl, who he's absolutely cracked at. When you put those 3 hunters together, you have a very powerful, disruptive engager that has a lot of tools to get out and live after they have set up the engage, and also able to be very good at following up on kills and putting enemy into the box. Then you have this ranged carry on the Myth, just constantly pumping, and someone, in the hand of someone like Spade Storms, able to put out so much consistent damage. And then someone like Pine on the Zeph, also able to put out huge damage, because Zeph's like Ezreal, basically able to just pump and heal at the same time. And I think a big difference that I see immense, and that's kind of why I was calling out the hunter meta a little bit, is that a lot of other teams aren't running a support. If they are running a support, it's more of an oath look, where the support's looking to, more like hold space, heal a little bit, but not Zeph healing. And so I don't know if we even saw another Zeph out here. So I think, obviously Moonlit Battlegrounds, we've talked about it a lot. They have the experience, they have the mechanical skill, but on top of that, I think they're running a very powerful comp that has a lot of tools to sort of get out and reset and keep them alive and play around like wisps. Whereas some of these teams that are running just the full YOLO, ranged carry comps, they have to basically execute. And if they fuck it up, it's over, right? Whereas Moonlit Battlegrounds has many more tools to kind of recover with more of like a balanced comp, you would say, with sort of a melee engage, a ranged carry, and a support. More of like a quote normal comp, or something you would sort of expect when you look at like a trios BR, right?
Yeah, it's an interesting thought. I mean, they've always been kind of pushing the boundaries on what comps are acceptable because how many other people are playing Shrike? Basically nobody else.
Yeah,
So
right.
they're always kind of pushing those boundaries of what is actually able to be played in these scrims because they can pull it off. I think the disadvantage with Zeph is in all of these third-party scenarios, like what happened at Ion Acres, Zeph is not going to save you there. You have to have really good positioning to set up for that Zeph so that you're not caught out like that. But they pull that off, so they don't have to stress about getting third parties as much as maybe other teams are, and they're just looking for these execute comps.
I maybe missed Jimmy's bungees. I'm sorry, Jimmy. So much happening. I'm sorry, buddy. Yo, messengers, what's up, homie? Thanks for the follow. Night, GG's, bro. I always love watching you guys play. Hope you had a good time out there. Anyways, guys, I think we are going to wrap it up there. Really appreciate everyone tuning in. Super good games. I think I'm going to really try to cover Friday Night Scrims like a little more consistently here and, kind of keep myself in the loop with the action and the meta and like everything that's happening. So hopefully we'll be seeing you guys back Friday night. Don't forget, tomorrow, Moonlit Battlegrounds tournament. So the owner of the Moonlit Battlegrounds team that just dominated, hosting their first tournament tomorrow. I will be shoutcasting in that. The day after that, we have Sunday Night Vibe hosted by Just Relic. So make sure you tune in for that. I'll also be casting that. Then the following weekend, we're going to be back with Abyssal Cup, the third edition of Abyssal Cup, second edition in North America, again hosted by Just Relic. That's going to be 2 days back to back of super hype tournament action. So make sure to tune in for that as well. And Jimmy says, don't tell Tsunani you're casting his favorite, even though Jimmy told Tsunani that right at the beginning of this. I think Tsunani is doing an awesome job. It's been really cool seeing him scale up, and he's been covering like a lot of scrims. Like I haven't had the time to do it recently, and Tsunani's been basically making sure every scrim gets like the POV spectator coverage so that these players can go back and watch the VOD. So huge shout out to Tsunani, and I think he is doing a really good job casting and definitely scaling up. So anyways, with that, immense, bro. Caster. Immense. I've really enjoyed having you here, man. Thank you so much for joining me. Is there anything you want to throw in here before we close it out?
No, just thanks. That was fun.
We'll definitely do it again, bro.
With you. Honestly,
we'll hang out a little after this too. We should definitely like get a real one in where you don't have a delay, so you can actually, because it's way harder to do with a delay. But I thought you did a really good job despite that. So, anyways, everyone,
kind of fun.
We will catch you guys for the tournaments this weekend. We'll catch you next weekend for Abyssal Cup, and keep vibing. See ya. GG's. Wait, I should raid someone. Who should I raid, guys?